Anybody?
You guys like my name? What's up?
Big Bunny. I was scared to rap your name. Big Bunny B, the man to see. He's got the fat PA. Something. I lost it. It was working though.
Oh. You know, the sad thing is, I think I screwed up. I tried to unmute it and missed it, so nobody even heard the theme song or all the fun Big Bunny B stuff that Jen was just doing. So there's the first goof of the night. What are we gonna do? Welcome to GoodFlickas, home of the GoodFlickas. Can you take our critiques? Let's find out as we dig into Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, the follow-up to last week's pick, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Is it kids? Kids. It's kids. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. But yeah, I'm of course Matt. It's weird because I don't have Nick here to like make fun of, so it's throwing me off. But let's just first address that elephant in the room, right? So we do not have Nick with us this week. He is enjoying a nice long weekend in Cancun, Mexico. Wow, I don't know why I stumbled on that one. Cancun, Mexico. So he'll be back in the good old US of A tomorrow, right? He comes back tomorrow night, I think. Sure, he comes back. He'll be back next week for Jen's pick, that's for sure. I know that he did watch these movies. I don't know if he sent scores or anything yet. I haven't checked in on a group chat in a minute.
Oh, you missed it. I'm a genius with maps.
Okay.
Yeah, that was rough.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
Jen's geometry is on point.
Geometry? I can't tell if this is a geography joke.
It's totally a joke.
Okay, I need to catch this right. I'll catch up on one of the breaks. But yes, we are without Nick. So we are one man short on the GoodFlickas, but it's the triumphant trio, the original three, the three amigos. I'm trying to come up with better stuff that's not like already been done, but it's the OGs. What's up, guys? We're taking it over tonight because
the BIGs
can't hang.
The BIGs. Everything is big tonight.
Everything is big tonight.
Yeah.
Big tonight.
I am of course Matt, joined with Brian.
I just want you to know, if anything gets that goes awry tonight or things don't work or and everything, I fix it.
Oh, I can't wait to dig into this. This is gonna be a fun one for sure. With us as well is Jen, and she does not have the big bowl, but she has a plate that looks like, I don't know if that was pizza or lasagna or what it was. It looked delicious. Pizza looked good.
Cheese pizza, and I had the shrimp because I want to see if I'm allergic. So let me know if I start turning red. It's totally fine.
Some people when they test this, they eat the shrimp when they're like outside of the hospital.
Yeah, or at least close to Benadryl or Epi.
You know what?
Jen just jumps on the lightning and rides.
You know what? Jen's going hard for our billions of viewers out there.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid, guys.
Everybody's gonna call 911 if something happens. So Jen, you will be safe, I'm sure. But so far you're looking good. I hope you enjoyed the shrimp.
I did.
What's funny is if anyone's watching us on Twitch and they have like different color settings to their TV.
I don't know. Is she looking a little funny? I don't know.
Yeah, she looks kind of pink.
Okay, I'm naturally pink. Like it's the red. When that because when my brother graduated, he came to pick me up, and he was like, "Hey, how you? Are you okay?" Like he went straight paramedic on me, and he's like, "Why are you so red?" He's like, "Your face is red," and I'm like, "That's rude." I was like, "I don't wear makeup, bro." Like, jeez. And then he was like, "No, you're looking like allergic red. I was like, you know what? I was starting to think I may be allergic to I said seafood, but it was the smoked salmon in particular. That definitely turned my face red. But I ate the entire pack and lived. So I figured shrimp, we could test it.
Yeah. It could just be like a mild reaction, right?
Yeah, it could
You
be.
could still be allergic without it having an extreme reaction to it.
Mhm.
But well, hopefully you stay safe, Jen. We'll keep an eye on you, but looking good so far. So yeah, tonight's pick is Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. Obviously, that is my pick, and I went with it to continue on with this trilogy. So Jen, hopefully you round us out. Big gamble on this one. We'll see. But I thought it'd be fun to at least continue. And this is actually, it's one of those movies that from the series that nobody really talks about. It's kind of we don't really mention that one. But it's really not so bad. It's completely different from the first. But I think it fits so well. I think it's, it's a good follow up. But before I get too far into like initial thoughts and everything, did anybody want to go first with initial thought? Yeah. Oh, Jen, here we go.
I'll go first. Okay.
Megan.
So, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. I know I have seen this movie, but it was a long time ago. Like, I can't even tell you how long. We're just gonna put it like that. And I enjoyed it as a kid. Like, I thought it was fun, and I had forgotten about I'll fix it. But my brother, as soon as he said it, I was like, we would go around the house saying that for anything. Like drinking water, I'll fix it, like anything at all. And so it's really
I fix it.
very, very nostalgic. Very nostalgic. And as I was watching this, I love this movie. It was so entertaining. It was so good. Oddly enough, it made me tear up in some moments. But I think it was just because of the nostalgia callback. Just happy vibes. I was cracking up. And in my opinion, this one is like light years beyond the first movie. The first one it's rough almost, but this one, oh my gosh, it was so enjoyable. I'm so glad that you picked it, and I'm excited to talk about it. And I give it a 10 out of 10. I have to.
Wow.
It was so great.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
I have to say, like, even with the
great.
positive review, I was not thinking so high. So that's awesome, Jen. 10 out of 10. You marked that, Brian.
Oh, I did.
I just,
And I'm putting Nick's in too.
and just remember, she has special scores.
Nick is smoking crack. I don't know what's up with him.
I'll read Nick's initial thoughts.
He's not smoking crack.
I'm gonna pull him up and read along.
Nick writes, "This movie just didn't hit the mark for me. They had a new idea, but I think it just came off really weak and cheesy. The
Kaiju.
thank you. The kaiju style with a Godzilla-like toddler in Las Vegas just isn't it. While the production looks decent, it's still not enough to give this one high praise. I actually fell asleep in the middle of it because I was just not entertained. I give it a 2.8 out of 5, all the way from Cancun."
Nick gets the Razzie Award tonight.
Yeah.
Well, that's Nick's thoughts.
I'm glad he's not here to bring down the vibe. You guys better like it.
All right, I'll go. So, like Jen already said, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid is definitely a movie that we watched a lot as kids, and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is one that we watched as well. And I feel like the problem that a lot of people have is they take the Honey, I Blew Up the Kid and they try to compare it to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And you are actually comparing apples to oranges because it is completely different. You have one that is enormous and you have one that is microscopic, and it couldn't be polar opposites. So you can't really compare it. But what I can say is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids I feel is a better movie, and it's because it had more to work with. When you shrink down, the amount of creative worlds that you can have is unbelievable. A backyard becomes an Amazon rainforest. The inside of a house is a world in itself. The kitchen alone could be a season on a Netflix show, and then you can go into the living room and so on and so forth, right? It's just like the creativity. It's like endless creativity. When you're big, like ginormous big, you kind of run into a problem to where, well, where do we go from here? Now, I feel that Honey, I Blew Up the Kid did a really good job at keeping entertained. I don't know if you guys thought or think this, but me, this is a fast 90 minutes. I've been through 90 minutes where I'm like pulling my hair out trying to figure out when's the end of this movie. And I watched it twice this week, and each time I was like, boom, boom, whoa, we're done. He's jumping on Big Bunny already. Okay, cool. Well, that like it's a very quick, never stalls, constantly moves the story forward. And if you're gonna go big, why not Vegas? It's a great idea. It's a fun little concept there, but again, I the problem that they run into is, he can only get so big and we can only do so much with it. It's like it's tough. You're not. It's almost like you're restricted to where you can go with your storyline. That being said, I think they did a really good job in coming up with an entertaining sequel, a fun story, a one that moves very quickly and doesn't really go over the top to where it's like this is just pure boredom at this point. Like I don't need to see Adam leaving Vegas at 200 feet and now can take strides across the United States of America. Like that would just be a little ridiculous, right? So I think that they kept it in the bubble as they should have. And yeah, I mean I have some comments. There's some obvious nitpicks that I can't wait to bring up. But overall, I think it's it's a great movie. I've seen some people just aren't about this one. I don't understand it. For me, I gave Honey, I Shrunk the Kids a 4, and I'm giving Honey, I Blew Up the Kids a 4. I think they're pretty much, I was equally entertained with both of them. I just know that the first one, again, the amount of storyline that you have is essentially endless. Like, where can small people go? Freaking anywhere. So,
No. Yeah, I agree with everybody right now. I'm really looking forward to this chat. This movie it's a lot of fun. I completely agree that this is a perfect follow-up. This is a perfect sequel to a movie like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, where it's not, well, let's do the same thing. It's no, let's do the literal opposite. And I'm like, that's fantastic. That's how you get me to come back of like, oh, they're doing something different in the sequel. Yeah, what's going on? And this is a fun idea, right? I mean, it's not something that hasn't been done many times where you blow something up or something, a giant version of something is destroying a town or city. It happens, and it happens on all levels of genres, right? Like blowing up a baby is kind of a fun. Okay, let's. I see it already at the fun facts. I tried to avoid it, but I'm like, no, I understand why they changed this. Yes. So, making a toddler giant. It's a really fun idea, but it does become kind of problematic story wise because the benefit of having like a creature or an adult version of something that's becoming giant is they can have a conversation, they can talk, whereas a baby is very much just like it's gonna do what they're gonna do. But you have to limit that and also think in a realistic, how can we film this? So I think what they did was really good. There's a lot of good stuff. Um, Nitpicks for sure, but a fantastic follow up to the original. I love everything that they add to the Zelensky family. I love everything that they add to Wayne. I enjoy that they make this family feel like we know them without ever really knowing them. It's such a shallow dive that we get for these families and who these characters are, but we know exactly the type of people that they are and who they need to be and what they're going through. And it's fantastic. So I don't think that this was a fantastic movie. I think I gave what's the last one a 3.99.
Yeah.
I don't think that this one is as good, but it's still really great. I really enjoy this one. It's certainly one I watched a million times as a kid. I fix it. There's another one that I'll call out later, but we'll get to that. Certainly some quotes in this one. But I gave this a 3.75. So a little bit lower, mostly for certain things that I think could have been done better or improved upon. But still pretty solid. Go ahead, Brian. You've been very patient.
Yeah, it was just to add to what you were saying about him being a baby. Yeah. The other takeaway that I got on this one, and I didn't realize it until I was older, or until this watch, I should say, because I don't remember the last time I watched this damn movie, was with him being a baby, the genius behind this movie is as he grows. So when you're a baby and you're playing with your toys, everything's smaller than you and you're playing with your toys. Mm-hmm. But when they blow him up to 50 feet, 100 feet, everything's smaller than him and he's still playing with his toys. Like he keeps his personality throughout the 90 minutes. Nothing changes. And I'm like, God, that is genius. It's like each size he gets, he's playing with different things that are small enough for him that he's just playing in his playpen type thing, right? But then when you're actually out in Vegas, it's like he's a baby playing in a city. Like that's all he is. He has his miniature city and he's playing his normal games the way nothing has changed to Adam at all. Everything has changed to everyone around Adam. Oh man, they hit the nail on the head on that one. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's so interesting. Whereas like an adult person or something with a more mature mind, right? You get shrunk and you have that perspective. But
I'm shrunk.
Baby,
how do I fix
he doesn't, his perspective is like, I'm not getting bigger.
Right.
Everything's getting smaller.
Exactly.
And by the time like he's really big, he's like, no, those are small things. They're toys. Everything. So his world is not getting bigger. It's not getting small. Like he's not getting bigger. The world is getting smaller around him and he has no perception to that.
Yep.
It is very interesting concept to really dive into. Go ahead, Jen.
Something else that I really loved was that it also through it all, his parents, they didn't change either. They still viewed him as like that 2-year-old.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like that was, it's just so precious. We may cry on the podcast tonight. It was so cute.
Just a baby.
It just warms my heart.
Yeah. That's our intro. So we no fun fact song, but
fun.
Jen, you were rapping earlier. You got something you can throw off the cuff?
Oh, it's gonna be woo. Okay. I'm shy. Okay.
Take your time. Find the rhythm.
Big Bunny B. About to share the facts of Honey, I Blew Up the Kid movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Movies. Fun facts.
Yeah.
Just saying
you know what I'm saying?
Just saying an act, it's fun facts.
You didn't come with too much energy. So I'm like, okay, this is more of like a slow emotional rap. I didn't want to be too much of a hype man, come in with like that, that you don't need that energy.
I'm not cool like that. Like I don't have that.
This just wasn't the song. This just wasn't the song for that.
No.
I was trying to do like that more R&B, like 90s R&B.
Yeah.
Guys, just like, yeah, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna listen to these fun facts.
About to be boys to men in this bitch.
It's gonna be real good with these fun facts. You're gonna love hearing these words go into your ear hole and into your brain. You're gonna learn so much. Fun fact.
Share fun facts with me. Fun facts.
All right.
Yes. Yes. Good Flick is officially
Wow.
getting weird.
So I'm gonna save us. Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. Comes out in 1992. If you need a refresher, I believe Honey, I Shrunk the Kids was 89.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're talking 3 years difference here. It is directed by Randall Kleiser. Let's just say he's got a couple of ones that I've pretty big names here. I'm going to start with Grease.
Wait, he did Grease?
That's the intro that we were talking about, right?
Yeah. So I had no idea until I did the research on this. I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
That is hilarious.
He's the director of Grease.
Yeah.
He is director of White Fang, 1991. He's director of what else do I want to mention here? How about Boy in the Plastic Bubble?
Okay.
1976. And apparently his second most popular is, and I have not seen this, The Blue Lagoon, 1980.
Yeah. Which one? Who is in that one?
No idea. Could not tell you. And then I guess his fourth most popular is Flight of the Navigator, 1986. Yeah. Haven't seen that one either.
Yeah.
So that's just a couple of ones. I thought it was hilarious that I was like, wow, director of Grease. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Going into the cast. So obviously we've got coming back, we have Rick Moranis, who plays Wayne Selinsky. You have Marsha Strassman, who is Diane, who I know Jen already mentioned. I thought they both did just a wonderful job in this one. There were a lot more, they were more focal points in this movie than they were in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. They definitely took more of the back burner role, where this one they were more of the lead. And you know, it's so different to where you have to basically, they're playing these parts where 3 years ago they went through the trauma of shrinking their own kids, and now they're going through it of they blew up the young one, and the way that they play it is just perfect. So just shout out to them. You've got Robert Oliveri as Nick Selinsky, who again, he is the one that played old school, or the first Nick Selinsky. All right, then you've got for anyone that didn't know, this is kind of going into pre-fun fact stuff, but Adam was played by twins. I did not know this until yesterday.
No.
The twins are Daniel and Joshua Schalaker. And just phenomenal job. I was so impressed with the way that these 2-year-olds were, I mean, they were basically being themselves as my guess, but just, my God, these are cute kids. And yeah, so just great job there. Lloyd Bridges is another one who plays Clifford Sterling. Man, that guy just has the voice. I love his voice is so cool. I'll say it.
Wasn't he the guy, I won't say Police Academy? Airplane, Hot Shots.
Oh, he wasn't. I knew I saw him, or I knew him from something.
I could have sworn he was in one of the Police Academy movies or something, but I may just
I don't know. Now correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not going to find it on Letterboxd, but every time I hear his voice, is he the same voice of Unsolved Mysteries?
Oh, let me check. He would have been like just himself, right?
I feel like he might have been. It sure sounded like him, but while you're checking that, yeah. So Lloyd Bridges has been in Airplane, High Noon, Joe versus the Volcano. a lot of old school movies that I couldn't even begin to tell you what they were. We're talking like this goes back to the 50s, the 40s. So he's definitely he was a definitely not a no-namer for he's kind of a no-name. Unfortunately, he's a no-namer for our generation, but I feel like any parents that watched Honey, I Blew Up the Kid were probably pleasantly pleased with Lloyd Bridges coming in.
I will say, when I saw his name pop up, I knew the name. I just didn't know the guy. So I can't say he's a no-namer, even in our generation.
Okay, that's fair.
Know the name. I just don't. I'm not aware of. Like, he's got a big name.
That's fair. That's fair.
He's not Unsolved Mysteries, but
okay.
I want to say. I'm looking up now. There's another guy from Airplane that might be.
Oh, you're right. Unsolved Mysteries was Joe Walsh.
Joe Walsh?
America's Most Wanted.
Oh, is that no? That is America. You're right. That's America's Most Wanted. Never mind.
I remember that because I was like, Walsh, Dad's a cop. That's how my little brain connected things.
That's a cool guy.
Yeah, I was like family related somehow. Because I thought we were the only one with the last name.
All right. The other one I want to mention.
I've got it. I've got.
Oh, sure.
There's the other guy. There's another man in Airplane. Robert Stack. He is the host of Unsolved Mysteries. So there is a connection from Airplane, but different guy.
Gotcha. And then the last one I want to mention is Kerry Russell, who plays Mandy. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. As a kid, there were definitely a few crushes that I had on the TV. You know, you had your Kelly Kapowski. You had Topanga. Mandy was definitely one of my crushes on the TV for sure. I was like, there was something I was like when I was younger. I'm like, if I could just get a girlfriend like Mandy, I'd be okay. What about you, Matt?
I think I missed out. Like, I don't think it was like Kerry Russell. I probably had a crush on some like a later role because
she also was in Boy Meets World.
She's in Boy Meets World.
One episode. I forgot what.
That doesn't help.
Yeah.
I mean, I could look up her roles and I'm sure I'd find whatever it was. I was like, that's the one. But I think it was much later for me with her because this, as you're getting into, this was her first role. This is like her first like
her movie debut.
But when I saw this, because this came out in 92, I'm one, you know? So by the time I'm seeing this and like seeing Kerry Russell, it's like I'm not in that headspace. I'm watching this movie like as a kid. I think by the time I'm hitting like Pretty Girl in Bikini, I'm not watching this movie. So I will say it was certainly noted this go around of like wow, okay, this is the 90s movie, like this is the pretty girl they want us to pay attention to.
Yeah,
you're showing it. Okay. So yeah, I not in my life did I have a crush on her from this movie, but I could see why many boys would.
Yeah. All right, that's it. Did anyone have any spotlights or actors that they wanted to bring out or talk about? Characters? It doesn't have to be their names, but just even their character names.
I go ahead, Jen.
I was gonna say, I just wish that they somehow would have brought back Amy into it. Like, I know you see her leave for college, but I just wish like there was like flashbacks, like she's in college and she's like, I gotta go. And then like she goes home, you know, to find out what the hell's going on.
She's like watching the news.
Exactly. Yeah, she's just like, oh my God.
Yeah, I would have appreciated that.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
I thought that would be fun, but because I enjoyed her in the first one. I thought she did a good job acting.
Yeah, I remembered her role being a lot smaller, which is something to say. So I was actually pretty pleased. Yeah. I mean, she was there. It's like, okay, we're going to start the movie with her and we're going to say goodbye to her, which I appreciate that they at least did. Nowadays, they would have just like, yeah, we're not even going to bring her in for the day. We're
Right.
just going to make it a phone call and she's just on the other end.
Yeah.
No, like they would have done her dirty like that. And that sucks.
Her name is Amy O'Neill, if you guys needed a refresher.
So I really like that they brought back the entire original family for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Because we'll get into the fun facts on the third one if we get into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really did like that they brought her back. I wish that they could have done more. And that's a great example of how, if like she's at college and baby is terrorizing, Las Vegas. I'm pretty sure she'd be aware.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw all of the news channels. She could not miss it. But the other actor I wanted to give a shout out to was Ron Canada. He's one of those character actors where I see him in all sorts of things. But he plays the marshal in this one. So the guy who's driving the ice cream truck at the end and all that.
Oh, stuff. Yeah.
Ron Canada, yeah. He's such a familiar face. I guarantee you've seen
I can burn rubber.
Oh, I love the smile on his face when he says it too. I can burn rubber. So excited. It's like, yeah, big shout out to him because he's a phenomenal actor. He's in so many things and he's fantastic.
Yeah.
Great job. Yeah, Joe.
Am I allowed to put up a vote for a character swap?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, okay.
Before you do that, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, he does. He does. I'm sure he's about to list off some potential actors.
No. Since you were on Ron Canada, I just pulled it up. So, Home Alone 2.
The cop, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep. National Treasure.
Was he a
I
cop?
don't remember him in National Treasure.
I'm trying to remember what he was in National. I want to say maybe a security guard.
It says guard Woodruff.
Yep, there you go. So cop is his
This
thing.
one, I'm at a loss on. Wedding Crashers.
He is. It's like I think he's the priest. No. He's the butler. He's the butler.
You're right. He is the butler.
He's the butler.
That's right. Okay. When they go to the actual
What you get paid to do. That's exactly what I get paid to do.
Yeah, it's when they go into the actual house that's on the island, right?
Yes.
And it's something. That's what Wisconsin does. No, damn it. Lobster and I forgot what it is. I butchered that.
Rewatch the movie.
Huh?
Rewatch the movie.
Seriously. He was also in, I'm just going to do his top 8. The Empty Man. Haven't seen that one. Just Like Heaven.
That sounds familiar, but not ringing.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. Cinderella Man.
Oh, haven't seen that one yet.
And lastly, The Discovery.
Familiar with that one either.
Yeah, so those are his top 8 right there. Oh, he's in Man of the House, which I don't remember. What?
Man of the House.
He's Chevy Chase's boss. War Paint. You don't remember that?
No.
He's Chevy Chase's boss.
I remember in that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you said, Matt, he's definitely just ton.
I want to give a big shout out for this movie for him is Ted 2, where he's the judge.
Oh, yeah.
It's for that one line that he drops.
Oh, I missed Ted. Yeah, I'm sorry. That was his 4th one. I overlooked it.
Overruled.
Yeah.
He just seems like a cool guy.
All right, go ahead, John.
Yes.
So well, I don't know because it might be the guy because to me they look so similar. But the villain in this one, I don't know. I can't remember his character's name. Jerry or something.
Hendrickson, yeah.
Close, very close. so Hendrickson, he reminded me so much of the bad guy in Beethoven. And then like the little announcer guy, the announcer guy in the Hunger Games, right? Same guy?
No. Oh, you mean
Different guy.
Stanley Tucci?
So Stanley Tucci is in Beethoven. I thought you were talking about the other bad, like the bad guy of Beethoven, who's like,
Not the
he
no,
euthanizing?
not the, yeah, no, not that guy. No, the Stanley
Tucci.
Stanley Tucci.
Yeah, I think he would have done a real good job. It wasn't him, was it?
No. That was
So you're saying switch Stanley Tucci for John Shea's character as Hendrickson.
Yeah.
I would agree Stanley Tucci would crush it. He's fantastic. There's no way he fails at this.
I think I've got a better one.
It's just I worry he's too young at this point. Like, because this is right around Beethoven, right? I mean,
yeah,
and they kind of looked the same.
I think I got a better one. How about John Malkovich?
Oh, he's already a bad man.
Uh-huh. It's pretty much coming right off of Con Air.
You know,
who's John Malkovich?
Okay.
John Malkovich was Cyrus the Virus.
Oh, maybe too scary.
No, I think he was.
He's a baby.
He toned it down for Disney, I'm sure. I don't know. I think one of my biggest complaints with it was that he was just kind of a boring bad guy.
Yeah,
it's just I don't like Zelensky. I'm power hungry, and I'm
you know who? You know what? Oh, go ahead, Matt. I didn't like him. I don't think he was a very interesting character. And no offense to John Shea, but like I think he did a great job of making a guy I'm like I don't like you from the moment I see you. Yes, and
he succeeds on that for sure.
Do you know what type of bad guy he reminded me of instantly? Is I don't remember his name, but the bad guy of Richie Rich.
Oh. I know
like
exactly.
You're just like this pointless dude that's trying to wreak havoc and
John Larroquette.
Yeah. So it's like because in Richie Rich, all he's trying to do is
he's just trying to get the fortune, really.
Exactly, like kidnap the parents, and it's like you have no business in crime or anything, yet here you are just trying to do this. And I was like, it's the same bad guy premise. It's like you're completely against this guy. You're not listening to him, and for what? Because you want to be the owner of a company. Like this is your end goal here. It's just, I get what you're saying about the dullness. I agree.
Well, I will say that like he's corporate bad guy, right? Like when we see him, these are two guys who are like, yeah, the old man doesn't know what he's doing anymore, so let's conspire against him and get him out of here. Like that's what's happening with these guys is it's corporate sabotage. But really, it's also just like his arrogance, right? Because like he kind of has a personal vendetta against Zelensky for some reason. He is the reason you have this project. So like shove it up your ass, dude.
Seriously.
So it's like he just like I don't know. Guy sucked, but he did make a good villain. I like that. Yeah. But I'd be interested to see like John Malkovich or somebody like that is a personality no matter what you put them in, right? Like it's going to be a character because the person playing it is.
Yeah, he's gonna dive into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that would have been really interesting to see somebody like that, especially if like a bigger name like that.
Right.
God, I'm trying to think like who else is around
in 92?
Yes, but now this is something that
you could have oh my God, don't blank on his name. Apollo 13. Houston. Harris.
You mean
Houston Harris?
Yeah, like I know exactly who you're saying, but
Rich Harris. No, that's not right.
Coach from radio.
Dude, he was also in The Rock. Oh my God, he would have been great.
Oh God.
Oh wait, well, I'm thinking of the same Steve Harris, right?
Ed Harris. I
knew his last name was Harris.
Yeah,
that one I think would be good too, and that's right around that timeline too.
National
He
treasure.
would have been perfect.
He was a bad guy in National Treasure too. Like, so I'm
Yep, he was a bad guy in National Treasure. He was he did a great villain in The Rock.
See,
But he was like, it's weird. It was like villain, but he had a line and he wouldn't want to cross that line. So it was like that moral line where it's like, this is what I want, but not at a certain price that I'm not willing to push. Where others of his crew, he's like, oh no, we're gonna push that line. We gotta do The Rock sometime.
I'm trying to think of a good example because for me the biggest problem is like we're coming up with great villains for sure. But what we like this is because it's corporate espionage, right? It's corporate sabotage. Like we gotta find like a guy who's great. Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin would have made a great corporate bad guy.
You're right. Well, he did.
That's my point.
Fun with Dick and Jane.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I also went to 30 Rock, but like he has that about him where like he can be entertaining and be a bad guy. I think he would have been a really interesting choice, especially in the 90s, because that's early on.
Here's another one for you. If you want a bigger name.
Yeah.
Michael Douglas.
Huh?
Wall Street.
I worry he's too old at this point because there's try to find someone a little bit younger because it's like a little bit threatened by Wayne, who's probably in his 40s.
Yeah, because this is probably right around Basic Instinct.
No, okay, yeah. This is the tough part with me in the 90s because I think Michael Douglas, yeah. When did Wall Street come out? That was early 90s.
80s.
80s was Wall Street?
Yeah. I'll check right now.
Like it's just I'm trying to like get the time frames down. I could see it. Even now, I don't think he looks that old.
Let's see. Wall Street.
Keep on a rocking. Sorry. Fill this space with nothingness.
Big Bunny B looking up the fun facts now to add to the fun facts section of the podcast.
What? We need
Just anything with Big Bunny B.
Oh yeah, 87. 1987 Wall Street.
87. Okay. I mean, this is what, 5 years? 5 years? Trying
6
to do
years.
6 years?
No, 5 years. I'm sorry, it was 92. Yeah.
5 years, yeah.
Yep.
5 years. I could see Michael Douglas. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see it.
All right. Any other casting stuff, or we're moving on?
No, that's all I had with the casting. Curious. Now you got me wondering why you got to do these things. We're fine. Move on.
Moving on. Okay. Moranis improv'd his dialogue with Adam. There was no script written or anything. They just said whatever they say, you just go off of that. And so anytime he's with Adam, he's improving everything.
Yeah, I really liked him. Yeah. I read the facts on IMDb when I read that one and watching the movie. I was like, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Pretty cool.
So sweet. He was so nice with it. Like knowing that was just him having a conversation with a child. It's like, yeah, that feels very genuine. Please show more of that, Rick. Please. Yep.
All right. So there was definitely a little bit of drama in Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. So first it starts off as title-wise, it starts off as Big Baby. And it wasn't even going to be a sequel to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
What is it going to be? Teeny Weenies, Big Baby? Wow, they got to work on these titles.
But here's the thing. It wasn't even going to be a sequel to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It was going to be about some scientists that ended up something happened where a toddler gets blasted and is now terrorizing Las Vegas. So basically Godzilla turned into a toddler 2.0, right? And then Disney's like, hold up. That seems like a really good sequel to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. So we're going to take that because that's how Disney rolls. And they get it. And they decide Big Baby's out, but now they're going to come up with the title Honey, I Blew Up the Baby. They were like, we're not really sure how people are going to react to that one. They were kind of afraid. So obviously they went with Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. I'm not really understanding the big difference between baby and kid. You would think that it's the blew up part that you would probably might want to adjust or edit. I'm just trying to picture the drawing, like the boardroom. Okay, guys. So Honey, I Blew Up the Baby is a little harsh. Anyone got any ideas? Yeah, I got one, sir. Let's drop the baby and put kid there. Genius.
But you know, it works. It honestly works. And
I mean, does it though? Like, could there have been a better title?
Okay, I was in the middle of telling how I felt.
Go ahead.
So I think it works, and I personally haven't ever noticed it until tonight. Of course, you guys ruined movies for me.
Well, no, it's interesting because you do Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and if you know that it's a sequel, Honey, I Blew Up the Baby, you're like, oh, cool, it's complete opposite. So you're not really thinking of like, boom, tick, tick, baby gone, right?
Yeah, not at all. Now, if they killed the kid in the first one, maybe.
So here's the question though, like, is there even a better title than Honey, I Blew Up the Kid or Honey, I Blew Up the Baby? Can we GoodFlickas, can we come up with something better?
This is a challenge.
And it has to be it's got to be Honey I.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the struggle is because like blew up is exactly what you need it to be. It like shrunk, which we've already discussed as grammatically incorrect. But blew up. Like,
I have a couple.
It needs to. But like, how else do you say like you made someone big? You know, Honey, I expanded the kid. Honey, I expanded the baby. Right?
Yeah,
it doesn't have the same flow.
Honey, let's see. Honey, I Made a Big Boo Boo.
Okay, I like the direction you're going with this. Okay.
Or
upping.
You could do Honey, We Have a Big Problem.
That's what I was thinking too. Something like Honey, My Big Mistake, or Honey, I Made a Big Mistake.
But it's like, do you have to keep the Honey I, or can it just, is the key starting with Honey?
Well, so I think the trick with this is they tried to go back to the whole, he says, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And that becomes the title out of like, we need to figure out a better title. Mm-hmm. And then they tried to do it again where he says it, he says the line, Honey, I Blew Up the Baby. But they're like,
I know in the movie he says Honey, I Blew Up, and I was like, wow, that title just rings. It works.
Well, it's what I always called it. I always called it Honey, I Blew Up the Baby, and having to remember that it's the kid.
Right.
But I like the, like you were heading with a different direction of the
it's their problem that they have to solve, right?
Yes. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Honey, I don't know, because it's for me, because shrunk is such, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It sounds so good. Yeah. Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. It's not as ringing as Honey, I Blew Up the Baby, but
maybe they wanted
to. It just sounds so good.
Honey, I Godzilla the Kid. Yeah. No, I think you have to turn it around to, it's like, Honey, We Have a Big Problem, or Honey, I Gave Us a Big Problem.
What about Honey, I'll Fix
It? Oh, that's a great alternative title.
Honey, I'll Fix It.
That's great.
That's the reboot series where Adam is the Wayne character.
Yeah.
It's just Honey, I'll Fix It.
Yeah. All right. So I told the twin brothers. All right. The Schalkers were 2 years old during filming, so
Mhm.
the exact age as Adam. So good job keeping that the same. This is the only movie the Schalkers acted in.
Good for them.
One and done. They're out. They played in Vegas and we're like, we're good. I actually found out one of them ended up being a firefighter.
Nice.
Yeah. And then the water park that Nick worked for a hot 2 minutes was Wet and Wild Las Vegas, and that closed in 2004.
Wow.
Oh,
I can't
Maybe
imagine
teenagers losing
how
their
that
bikinis.
I just don't get it. Like a water park in Las Vegas just seems like just perfect.
Could you
Vegas,
imagine how much water that would take to maintain in a desert? Like
oh, I'm sure.
golf courses are bad enough, but like
Yeah,
water park,
that's true.
that shit's
But
evaporating.
man, Vegas is roasting, and to have a water park out there, oh, you got to be doing money out there. That'd been
Dude,
fantastic.
head to the Great Wolf Lodge, head indoors.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
honestly, have you guys been to any indoor water parks?
no,
So much fun. So much fun. The
no.
only thing that's like the real bummer of it is like, you know, when you go into a hotel pool and it's like you get slapped with like that pool humidity and
Oh yeah.
it's kind of like that in these pools. It's not as bad because it's a lot more open.
Well, you get the huge waft of chlorine too.
A little bit. But it's big, it's open, you know, in these places. So it's not terrible, but it hits you. There's definitely like there's a change in the air when you walk
Yeah.
the door.
This isn't pure oxygen.
Exactly. But it's a lot of fun. Like most of them have some pretty good slides. I've been to one where it had like the surfing wave pool that you could, so it had like the
oh, those are fun.
wave and you could surf
Oh
on it,
yeah, yeah.
boogie board. So it had a lot of really cool stuff that you could do at some of these things. So don't knock an indoor water park.
Fair enough.
In Vegas, maybe get on it. Or I'd be surprised if there weren't at least two already there.
I really wasn't able to find much on this. So it's just other things that I was able to find is there was obviously for filming this, they did a lot of miniature scale stuff to make it look big. So they miniature scaled the area outside of Las Vegas when Adam is walking to. That was miniature scaled. They also jumbo scaled things so they had like jumbo Adam. So it's kind of hush hush as to exactly how they ended up doing some of the things that they did, but some things were revealed. But there was definitely a lot of special effects and um uh camera chicanery that was used, and I think they hold up to this day. There was not a lot of complaints there. The way that they made him look, 7 feet, 50 feet, 100 feet, really, really cool. What else? I think that's all. That's all I was able to come up with, unless I'm forgetting anything. But
I got no major fun facts for you, but
go for it.
I did think they did a lot. I love movies like this where there's a lot of camera tricks. There's a lot of practical effects of things, because this was one of those movies where you could tell the digitizing of film degrades a bit of the green screen. There's certainly some moments where you can see it's like, oh, that's pretty obvious. And that's I think where some of my nitpicking comes from, especially since it was so good in the first movie. But they did some really good stuff with, like you said, the miniatures and like building sets and having things to where I found myself a lot of the times trying to figure out, I'm like, okay, is that a person in a suit? Is that that's actually his face. So it's probably him running. So they've done like double footage. They've overlaid. So it was really interesting trying to figure out how they did some of the shots.
I think they used 3 different size scales, Solinsky houses.
Had to have.
I thought that was really impressive.
Yeah, the one shot that I always think about is when they're running around the one pillar of the room, and where they're going through 3 rooms, but they're running around it. Yep. Because you can see that it's Adam running. There's they shot it where it's whatever scale of that room of Adam running, and then normal size of everybody else running.
Yeah.
Splice them together, overlay them, and it looks like the same place. It's like, holy shit, this is so good.
It's awesome.
They did some good stuff like that. So major props, and I really did like the miniatures. I thought that I always think miniature roads with billboards look weird. Like as he's stomping down and everything, like you see where they always look a little bit weird. Especially when it's just like a 2-lane road, really, to Vegas.
Mhm.
Like, and it's just, well, you know what, I could be wrong, but like, I don't know. It seems like we're going from suburbs to Vegas, and that doesn't seem likely. But
the middle of the desert, homie.
You know, who knows? I really don't know. But I did enjoy these miniatures. I thought they looked really good. Yeah, great camera work, great camera tricks, phenomenal stuff. That it was really, really fun to see what they did.
Oh shit, I never gave us our ratings, did I?
Oh no, I don't think you did. Did you even say our like the budgets and gross? I don't remember hearing any numbers.
Oh shit. Nope.
This is gonna be a weird night. See, this is Nick's fault.
Oh man, don't. Okay, I am sorry about that, guys. All right, so our ratings, we're giving this one.
Did you even say what movie it was?
Yeah, I did say that. We did directors, actors, all that stuff, and then normally I go to ratings from there. Oops. All right. So we're giving this one 3.89.
Okay.
IMDb is 4.9 out of 10 stars. Fucking haters.
Rough.
Letterboxd is 2.5 out of 5 stars, and Roger Ebert is 1.5 out of 4 stars.
1.5?
Did he give 2 to the other one?
I don't remember what
he didn't really like the first one either, did he?
Well,
I thought he gave it 2.
Here's a quote from
Raj. Really liking it.
Quote from Raj, how he starts off this one. I was not a fan of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but that movie shines as a beacon of originality compared to Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, the sequel. Simple logic helps to explain my reasoning.
Whoa.
Ouch.
I'm not going to say he's wrong.
He's wrong.
His words are not wrong. His score, I disagree with.
Yeah, so if you're interested, you can read that review, but that's how he starts off as a review. I'm like, dang, Raj, that's a harsh start, buddy.
He starts off pretty rough, and then he softens up in the middle, and it's like, okay, maybe that was too harsh.
Yeah. All right, so the budget was 40 million, and worldwide gross is 58.6 million.
Oof.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's
Oscar
the budget again?
40 million. So
40 million
it made 18.6.
Not terrible. Not great compared to the first one.
No, but ironically, when this came out, they also released a Batman movie at the same time.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like 3 years later, you guys are still running the same problem, huh?
Although I just remembered a fun fact that I read on IMDb that was about that the Batman thing.
Yeah.
So I can't remember. Was it Ice-T's album Cop
Killers?
Cop Killers? Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was like a reverse protest or whatever against. So the police did. I don't know which police, how many police. I don't know the details, but the police went on this protest of Batman Returns because it was a WB movie because they had released that album Cop Killers.
Yep.
We're telling people to go to see Honey, I Blew Up the Kid instead. So like it's still like in a weird way, Batman
is pushing people towards the Honey franchise.
Yes. But if I'm not mistaken, I think like Batman Returns was released almost like a month ahead of this one.
Oh, okay.
So Batman was also like in theaters for a while and probably doing just fine at the box office.
Yeah. And then awards, no Oscars, no Golden Globes.
No Razzies.
No Razzies either. Yeah,
No science fiction movie awards.
there were 10 noms, but I don't remember them being. So yeah, the Academy of Science Fiction, they had a bunch of nominees. And
I
then
figured.
yeah, they were nominated for Best Science Fiction Film,
Hmm.
Best Supporting Actress, Best blah blah blah. But then you also have the Young Artist Awards.
Hmm.
So Best Actress Under 10 in a Motion Picture, Best Family Motion Picture nominee. And then Kerry Russell was nominated for Best Actress and co-starring.
Nice. Did the twins get that nomination for Under 10?
No, that was Shannon Hughes.
It was Shannon Hughes.
I have no idea.
I'm gonna have to. Okay, that was this movie. Was the actress's name is Shannon Hughes?
Yeah, that's what it's showing.
Okay, let me see if I can hunt down who that is.
Gonna be one of the kids in a stroller in Las
Oh, but
Vegas.
you know what? Joshua was nominated for Best Performance by a Young Actor.
Okay.
So one of the twins.
Okay.
If
The
you
one that
were
was taking
in, that would cause a family battle forever.
What?
If he were to win, that would cause a family battle for
Oh,
life.
that's a rough Thanksgiving. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry,
So
what
I
was
do
the name
apologize
again?
for messing that up.
What was the name again? Shannon?
Shannon Hughes.
Shannon Hughes. For this movie?
That's what it
Are you
says,
sure?
man. Hey, this is the internet, so don't take it with a grain of salt.
Oh, maybe it's the kid Julia that got yelled at by in the magic show pool,
Oh,
and the lady is like, "Sit down, Julia." I bet you it's her.
it might be.
I am not seeing Shannon Hughes listed on IMDb.
Dude, I don't know. I think this is a mistake because I just clicked on the hyperlink and it says Shannon Hughes is known for Matilda.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
All right, somebody needs to update IMDb. This is wrong.
Yep.
GoodFlickas always telling you the truth, everybody.
Calling people out.
Yep. We think we have
Um,
found an inaccuracy
yeah,
on
I do
IMDb.
apologize for that complete reverse order that I normally do, but it happens. We still got the information out there.
Yeah. I think you should do it that way from now on.
Just whatever I feel like, random order.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, just throw it in there.
I do like one fun fact, then I talk about an actor, then I talk about another fun fact, then I talk about the budget.
Just jump around, have fun with it.
Yeah, jump around. How's the pain, baby?
Yeah. Yes, let's dive into Honey, I Blew Up the
We
Kid.
should all get like super close and feel like we're huge. No?
You make me wish that like I had thought ahead and like got good green screen or something going and just
Or we just
it's something
stand
really like really big behind it. I don't know if an entire show of crotch shots is the way we should go. But it's a tactic and I appreciate the feedback. It's good input, Jen. Yeah, let's dive into Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, and what better place to start than the very beginning. So I had immediate reaction to these opening credits. It's like this is how you do animated opening credits. I had so much fun with this. I will admit right off the bat, it got dry after a while. It became repetitive a bit, but I was like, we need to spice these up. However, this compared to the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids animated opening credits, so much more fun. I loved this. I enjoyed this. It felt like a comic strip. I was like, is there a comic strip of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? If not, they need to do this. Like, I loved the animation style. I loved the characters. I like that they actually resembled the characters to a degree. I mean, you could tell that was supposed to be Wayne. You could tell that was supposed to be Diane. Diane? Diane, and obviously it's Adam, but like God, what a fun design for Adam too, of like, let's paint him to be like this cute, adorable thing. He's got those long eyelashes. He's just such a sweet little baby. It's like, oh God, you're the devil. But I really did enjoy these opening credits. I thought it was a really fun way to start. I thought it was a big improvement on the original. And then of course we get our mailbox shot. This was the one I was waiting for. I was honestly a bit disappointed by it. Well, they made it look so fancy, but really it's just a lever system. He just pulls it and dumps the thing and he picks it up. It's like, this looks fancier than what it really is. But it's still fun. It's still cool, and love seeing Cork getting involved. But you guys got any thoughts on opening credits and intro scenes, getting to know the Zelensky's new home?
No,
it kind of is what it is, right?
It is what it is. Yeah.
We're just cutting past it all and getting into like the intro of going into the house and everything, and actually meeting the characters. What a beautiful house.
Yeah.
Like I loved looking up at too, like the entryway. I'm like, wow, this is a really nice house. I recognized the brunette lady, the neighbor. I didn't look her up, but I recognized her. She's one of those faces where I'm like, I've seen you in so many things, but you're just kind of that character. But yeah, I liked it. And beautiful house. And then we get to meet him. Like this is such a fun, like everything's great about this. We get to see Rick with
you clearly see that he's gotten better at his inventions.
Yes. He's got more time with it.
He's got his he might have created Bluetooth. I'm not sure, but
he didn't.
Yeah, so he's got the headphone, telephone, helmet.
Headphone. That's the best part. The headphone.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. And then he's got like the mobile garbage can that kind of goes back and forth and everything. I'm like, oh, okay. We've got, did you guys notice the basically like, you ever go to an airport recently and you have to go in that body scanner and you go like this and it turns you and all that? Did you guys notice that, but for toast?
Toast? No.
I thought this was such a cool way to toast toast.
Yeah, the bread is like vertical and it's just like doing like this vertical, like the turning around thing. And I'm like, oh, okay, I think he's been inventing a few things for his home.
Hey, that's a very good point, and I didn't think about that. And like in comparison to the first movie, it's him trying to become an inventor, right? Like this is the backstory is he's given up his day-to-day job because it's not fulfilling and he wants to create this shrink ray, and family gave him the opportunity.
And the whole movie is about him trying to get a shrink ray to work. Like that's it.
And it works. This is the aftermath. He's gotten the patents or whatever. Like he's got money now where he's got the time. He gets to work as an inventor, but he's still seen as just this goofy guy who worked in his attic. But you're right, because he's gotten this opportunity. It makes sense that he has all of these gadgets and things now. It makes sense that the house would have improved so much since the last 2 years, right? I had never had that thought. I never made that connection, but that is a fantastic point of like, of course, that's why things are like this now.
Yeah.
What a great progression.
He's basically going around and be like, okay, what's wrong with or how can I make our lives easier in this house? What can I do to invent something?
How can I,
Yeah.
How can I make it easier? How can I make it better?
Yep.
And I really do like the trash can thing.
Yeah.
It changes level and everything. It's like, it's a weird thing to have moving around your kitchen, but how convenient that it's just like, whoop, done. Like barely think about it. Cool stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Do do we want to consider like meeting the family and the stuff like the opening scene, or do we want to just hop into memories? Like I'm fine with
No, let's hop into memories. That's fine.
Yeah. Does anybody have any off the bat?
We're at 3.
I fix it. Jen's got 5, so she's gonna go first.
Yeah.
This was the one, like, even it was one that's always stuck with me, and this one, so Cheeky would always quote, "I'll fix it," and that was our thing. And then my mom was back off, and like as soon as I heard that we're doing this movie, I thought of that. I couldn't remember the scene of it, but just that quote, "back off," that was the first thing that connected me to this, or was my movie memory.
Same. I hear it all the time. And this is actually, it's a bit of a nitpick for me. Not particularly with this movie, but just a nitpick in general, where I don't understand the physics of it, I guess, of when things are big, why does it suddenly seem slow? Like I don't like they do it a lot. Like I think in Civil War, when we see Ant-Man blow up for the first time, he's doing the like it's like I have so much time to see his hand coming at me, but wouldn't he be moving so much faster? Like so that's I don't get the physics of that.
Yeah.
So I don't want to try and say I know better, but that has always stuck with me because it's always like, why is she speaking so slow? Like, if I don't know, maybe she was, I keep thinking about it now. And now I've landed on it probably was so that she doesn't like break their eardrums by screaming at them,
Or like a very intimidating factor.
Could, but I do think I'm failing to account for the fact that she's so much bigger than them, that taking your time and saying something slow is probably easier on their eardrums. Sorry. Thank you for helping work that out, Jen. 32 years of just fighting with back off. Now I'm getting okay. I'm finding acceptance.
You have peace.
I think it's delivered perfectly. I didn't even care about it. It was so good.
It did always stick with me too.
All right, so I have 3.
I have one more too.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I think a memory that I'll take with me, like this will be my version of like back off, is like when everybody knows that daddies are fun and mommies mean business. I loved it so much.
I wrote down the quote.
Same.
There's one thing every little kid knows. Daddies mean fun, mommies mean business.
Yeah. So funny.
That cannot be truer than my household, I can promise you that. Whenever it happens, I'm going to be the goofball and Casey's going to be the business. And we all know this.
That's always the way it seems to go. Kids have fun with dad. Yeah, I wrote that quote down too. It was
it's great.
It's there.
And her line read on it is it's perfect. It's perfect. Perfect line read. All right. So my three, it's when I heard that we were doing this, when Matt's like, yeah, we're gonna continue this. Honey, I blew up the kid. I fix it. That it's in my head. And I don't know if he says "ow" or "I." For me, it's always been "I." I fix it. I fix it. And that's Jen said it. I did that so much around the house. Like it was just one of my favorite things to do. Things weren't even working, and I was trying to fix it.
You're connect. I fix it.
Yeah. That's right. I'm like trying to assemble connects. I'm like, I fix it. I fix it.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's just been a quote in my life. I haven't used it recently though. I think might have to bring that one back. My second one is I'm kind of torn. I don't know if it's like, well, all right, it's more of an image than anything, but because I wrote down the scene too. And do you want to talk about it now or do we want to wait?
Sorry, what scene?
Like it's just I haven't said the scene yet, but
Let's talk about the scenes.
okay.
Yeah,
So
we know that these are always like to jumping off points. So if we dive in, dive in.
So it's this one I wrote as a Hard Rock and Adam.
Yeah.
And it's just an image that's like kind of burned in my head if someone says honey I blew up the kid, and it's when he is just jamming out on the Hard Rock Cafe guitar, and I think I used it for the Instagram and for our good flick WhatsApp thing too. It's just that image of him, like how happy he looks and everything. But yeah, so I mean about the scene though, boy, there's a lot going on this one. This is obviously when
are you taking it? Like just
I'm going to take it back to where he sees the guitar.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, so he sees the guitar, and this is another thing we haven't mentioned. Did you notice the amount of breadcrumbs that they leave you in the beginning of the movie to have everything make sense? Oh, he likes toy cars. He hates the word nap. Oh, he loves guitars. Everything pays off.
Oh, yeah.
There's a payoff to why you're letting me know about a toy car. There's a payoff of why you're telling me that he hates naps. Like it all just follows it really, really perfectly, right?
Yeah.
And so he sees the guitar, and Nick and Mandy are in his pocket, and Nick sees the guitar and he's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
He knows. No, and so he goes, what?
No, leave it alone.
Yeah, exactly. So he goes, rips the guitar off like it's nothing. And I'm like, so here we go. And he's just drumming. And again, this is a 2-year-old who's playing with his toy guitar. That's all he's doing. Like that, there's nothing harmful here at all. And here come the idiots. Great camera shots, though. I will say that when they have that pan, the zoom, it's like a zoom out, and they show that Adam's back is turned to them, and you could tell that he's got the guitar, and just Vegas is dark, and I was like, God, that looks so freaking sick. Like this 100-foot baby rocking out on Hard Rock Cafe guitar. Just they nailed that shot. And then to have like, I loved how the pilot just did not morally feel correct with any of this, and was basically stalling his ass off as much as he possibly can. It's like, oh, you want to shoot him? Like, did you miss? Like, I'm sorry. So, great job, pilot. Really, really great job. And then I still question how he's 100 foot tall. You get a second shot off, and it's the guitar that you hit. Like, I'm not really sure how we're missing Adam at this point, but anyway, I'm glad he did miss Adam. I don't think we want to have a tranquilizer dart go into him when he's that tall. And then, of course, the moment when everyone realizes this truly is a 2-year-old.
He's crying.
It's heartbreaking. I'm just like, Adam, you got hurt, and now you may be 100 feet above everybody else, but you want help. And I'm just like, guys, this truly is a baby. It's a baby. It's a toddler that you were dealing with. He just got electrocuted beyond belief. Like, I can't even imagine the amount of jolts that went into him from the missile or the dart going into the guitar. But yeah, him crying and everything, and just everyone on the ground starts crying, and I'm like, wow, they're really hitting home on this one. So yeah, that scene is it's lights out. It's really good, start to finish. And of course, that leads right into Jen's back off memory, where mom goes and is able to just grab the helicopter. And did you guys notice the blades are still spinning? That is so freaking cool looking. I'm like, oh And I don't know how they did that, but they have blades that are just real helicopter blades that are just rotating. So that was great. And the last thing, you've been really patient, but I gotta say, what a way to, and we're kind of in the end of the movie at this point, but whatever, but what a way to solve the problem. We're not gonna like, yeah, we want to shrink Adam and everything, but let's make his mom bigger than him. And that is that like that whole parental like mom and her kid, don't poke the mama bear, all that just tied up into one where it's like, no, make me mom. Make me mom and we will get this problem resolved in 2.2. And how happy he was when he saw her, he's like, Mom! I was like, oh damn. So really good. That whole sequence, just great. Go ahead, Matt.
I don't have a lot to really add, but like it's a fantastic sequence. I'm glad you hit all the highlights, man. Watching him have so much fun and then being in need.
Yeah.
And no one's around.
So scared.
Yeah. Like it is very interesting where, there's so many people like warned, like stay off the streets. There's a 100-foot baby out there. Avoid it. They all come running out anyway. It's this novelty.
Yeah.
But then it's that moment of like, oh my God, that it is a baby. It is a baby who is somehow big, is giant, and lost. Like it's like, oh my God, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
I love that it was always I feel like the solution was always going to be mom.
Oh yeah.
Love it. I wanted to call out the earlier foreshadowing of the Hard Rock. When I think it's after he picks up Nick or before he picks up Nick, at some point he passes the Hard Rock Cafe.
Mm-hmm.
It foreshadowed. It's like, okay,
yep,
that's there, by the way.
Yep.
So it's like you said, it all sets up.
It's perfect.
It all leads to something, and it's great. But
no, and like
I said, kudos to that pilot for knowing it's fucked up to
be man.
A child
from the get-go. He was like, I think I'll wait here. I'm not even gonna get in my bird.
Yeah.
And I love his response after back off. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, seriously.
It's like 100% yes, ma'am.
She has the authority here.
It would have been great. It's a kid movie, right? It's all about being like toddler and everything. Would have been so funny if they made the pilot all childish and be like, he made me do it. Like he's telling on him to the mom.
That would be hilarious.
That would have been fun. I think
like I'm literally guilty by association at this point, man.
Well, so this is I noticed this too. And I always thought, I don't remember her like crash landing that helicopter. Like she says back off and he says yes ma'am, and then she takes the helicopter down.
Mm-hmm.
I always remembered it as like she kind of like lets it go and they're like, okay, bye-bye.
Oh,
like, they go away kind of deal.
See, and that's what I like, how they had how they had the bird smoked out and looking like it was about to blow up. Because I'm like, that's probably realistic. This is machinery that you can't just forcefully pull. No one has the ability to forcefully pull down a moving bird. They're not designed that way. And so I loved how they're like, oh yeah, no, shit would probably get a little screwed up on that one.
Yeah, for sure.
And then so obviously there's a reason why that's probably one of my bigger memories of this movie is just it's such a it's an emotional scene. It's got the visuals. I mean, it's really just batting 1,000 at that point. The last one that I have, it's not really a scene. It's more of like a moment, and it's just watching someone about to be pulled over, and they shrink the officers. Like no police officer is expecting that. You're not expecting to be going into pursuit to pull someone over for speeding, and all of a sudden they're the size of, well, we already know they're a 1/4 inch tall.
I love their reaction too. Like
It's a no.
Wayne Zielinski, you bluffed them back up right now. That moment is hilarious. Just because Wayne's just all excited, like, oh my god, I got it to work, and we're in the back of a van.
Yeah.
Like, he's so excited in the moment. And meanwhile, she's like, you can't shrink cops.
It's like, you bring those officers back to life size right this instant.
but I love that they come back. Their whole
on.
reaction is just like, they're getting away. The other guy's like, they're out of our jurisdiction.
They're out of our jurisdiction,
that
my buddy.
Just happened, man. Like, I'm gonna go home and talk to my wife.
I need to reassess some few things.
Yeah, I don't know if this job is really, for me anymore.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, those are my 3.
Nice. I don't have any like major memories that we haven't really talked about now. I think moments though, like it always makes me laugh, and it's so messed up, but it's the moment where Big Bunny and Adam get zapped and his hair just goes crazy. Just like, that's so funny to me, just like the classic crazy scientist thing of like hair goes wild, and then his giggle after of like, that was fun, and then he crawls back into his stroller like nothing happened, and it's like, you sneaky little bastard. Which, okay, I think this is the first time it really kind of like resonated with me, where I didn't remember him constantly like breaking out of the pen, but a lot of it reminded me of all the stories of me that I hear about as a kid when I was 2, just how awful I was, and how I could like, I'd get out of car seats. Didn't matter how hard you strapped me down or how tight you made anything. I got out of that car seat. So I kind of related to Adam a little bit in this one, where seeing those things of like him just being this mischievous little kid. And I wrote down that he's a bit of a bully. Like he's kind of a dick to Nick, and like specifically to Nick.
Dude, it's terrible twos, man.
And that's what it was. Is like it's like I looked at that and I was like, he's 2. Yeah, he's 2. It's like, it's exactly what you'd expect, and I think that plays into this movie so well. Like 2 is enough for him to be like functional, walking around and chatty, but doesn't know anything. It's just fun. Everything is just, it's just my world. You're living in it until mom says so.
There you go.
Go ahead, Jen.
So you mentioned, okay, he knows something. He knows how to pester his older brother, Nick.
Oh, God, yeah.
I started really giggling because I did this to my own brother. It's like, you're the little one. You have to. When they're going down the steps of the lab, Adam is only mimicking.
Yes. I loved that so much.
Up so bad. I was like, that's so annoying. I'm so sorry.
Wow.
I'm so sorry, bro.
Cool lab.
Cool lab. I love that so much.
No, Jen used to do it to me countless number of times, where it was, I would say something and she would repeat it, and then I'd say something else and she would repeat it, and I'm like, I'm going to throw her through a wall.
See, this is one of those moments where I wish we still had Josh on here. So, because I mean, I could tell you all of my complaints about him and how he'd always like figuratively and literally poke me, right? To get me to get riled up and fight him. But I'm sure that there were certain things that I had to have done that annoyed him that I'm like, I don't know. So I wonder, because that seems like something we would have done of just like, but
it's such a sibling thing.
Just, I think the difference is though, is like between Nick and Adam, it's what, 8 years? 8 to 10 years?
Well,
No,
let's see.
I'm trying to think.
Adam's
How old
2.
is Nick?
Adam's 2. Nick has got to be high school age by then.
15,
He's
I
not-
think, because he was 13, right? And
Was he 13? That's what I was trying to figure out. How old was he?
I think he was 13. So now I think he's 15.
I could see that. Because he's not driving, but he's certainly high
Yeah,
school.
I could see 15, 16.
Yeah. 15. So 13 years. Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
Just a 13-year difference between them, right? Like what Nick can only do so much to be like, you're awful and I want to kick you, but you're 2.
Yeah.
2. I hate you so much right now.
But I do love how, like Jen pointed out, both Nick and Wayne are talking down the stairs,
Mm-hmm.
but Adam only repeats Nick's saying.
So that's why I say he knows what's going on. He knows.
I wonder how they got him to say these things.
This is what I'm saying. Brilliant acting by the Shalakers. Just great work, guys.
I'm always so interested when it involves kids in movies like this, especially when they're prominent, because they're saying things. But this is a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
She was just saying, like, how hard is it to get him to take a picture? I'm like, yeah. How hard is it to get him to show up on set and say what you need him to say? So hard. You're basically like, hey, Rick, we're just gonna let you have conversations with him, and we're gonna go with that. Cool. You can't tell him what to say. How do you get him to say those things? So I bet he thought it like you turn it into a game, right? We're gonna go down the stairs. You say everything that he says.
Yeah.
Like that's the game. Okay. I'm gonna say everything he said. Fun stuff. I love it. But lots of little memories and things.
Yeah.
I think the other big
Good memories, guys.
I think the other big memory that I have is the Coke bottle. Because it's I don't know why it always resonated with me where it was like it's a Coke bottle. I always thought it was such an interesting thing to use, especially since it's him breaking it. Like there's no nuance. There's no skill to it. It's just, he breaks the bottom off of a Coke bottle, places it into this thing that we don't know what it is, and it does its thing.
Do they break off that easily?
Hell no.
I didn't think so.
Hell no.
I was like, wow, how did he do that?
And what's worse is like, I agree that the sound makes sense for what he needed it to break and sound like, but that is not how that works.
No.
Those things do not go that well. And he did it twice.
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 And they just happen to always have Coke bottles around. Was Coke a thing in 92 or?
Oh yeah, Coke is always a thing. And the glass bottle has always been around and it shall always be around. It is delicious.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Coke bottle. Which is interesting because both movies required some sort of outside force, right?
Yeah.
The other one,
exactly.
Need a baseball to defuse. Interesting. Yep. He's not great at figuring out his power levels.
No, he's not.
That's all that is, because he needed a baseball to defuse the laser.
The laser was too hot.
He needed a glass filter to diffuse the laser.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that. You know what though? He was working on it. They weren't letting him do the things.
True. Yeah, he was going with his balloon theory.
See, I think he was figuring it out.
Which you never fully hear the theory. That always bugs me.
Yeah, but that's what a brilliant way for the science fiction of it all, right? Of like he's explaining it all, but hear it.
It's something to do about the more if you slowly inflate a balloon, it expands versus if you try to forcefully, it pops, and that's all I got.
I mean, the idea was you're expanding the molecules too quickly with too much power.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's causing it to explode because it's making the atoms erratic.
Gotta preheat the oven.
It was Go slow. So
you mentioned the lab scene. I did write a head scratcher.
Yeah.
No one decides that it might be a good idea to watch Adam
Okay,
when we're we're dealing with two men that are very well experienced with what being at the end of a laser can do. And everyone's just like, you know what? Adam's in his chair. We're just going to keep focused on here. Even though we're going to fire up the laser, no one's going to watch him. I just feel that, maybe we haven't learned our lesson quite as much as we'd like.
I do think that they make that clear, though. Yes, they should. Somebody should be looking at.
Someone's got to be watching him.
But these are both scientists. I mean, as much as Nick is like, am I a nerd? Like really trying to like break that mold. It's like you, excuse me, you can't help it, dude. Like you know certain things, right?
Yeah.
Like when he says maybe we can diffuse it. Like he saw the glass bottle. He's like, we can diffuse the laser. Like he knew. So I don't. It's
he knew.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like
sorry.
I think it is them geeking out in that moment of like, oh my God, so this really cool thing's going to be going on.
Yeah.
But, looking over, I'm like, he's in the seat. Yeah, he's in the seat. He's cool.
Right.
Let's focus on this thing. He's in the seat. He's cool. Okay, he's cool. Thing goes off. It goes crazy. You solve the problem. You look back. He's still in his seat. You're like, okay, everything's fine. Like, why would you think anything else? But yes, absolutely, somebody should have been looking after him. Yeah. He shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Come on. I agree.
No, can we talk about the fact that it's like, okay, we need safety goggles. He took full blast of that laser straight to the face. No goggles. And then what does he do? He goes back to his seat. He puts them on like, I'm okay. It's, dude, you just got,
no problem here.
Yeah, you just got lasered, man.
But he sounded like he was having a blast, though.
Dude, those giggles were the happiest child I've ever heard.
Seriously.
And they weren't creepy. Can I say that? Like,
yeah.
some kids have that creepy laugh. He had a very like, what's the word I want to say?
Innocent.
Well, that too. Say like jolly, but that's not really it. But
playful.
We'll go with jolly. And a jolly laugh.
Playful.
I can't find the word. I'm not going to try. It'll take too long.
Youthful.
So I have it's a super, super quick scene, but my title cracked me up, and I hope it cracks you guys up as well. And it's really the only reason why I wrote it down. I titled Welcome to French Class.
Ah.
Welcome to French Class.
I want to assume it's like right before the credits roll, like in the car, but like
no.
Welcome to French Class. I don't know.
It's when we're in the Wet and Wild water park, and basically we're getting introduced to Mandy's character, or to the character of Mandy, and she's sliding down, and she slides down the water slide, and then it cuts to Nick, and Nick is just like staring. He's like mesmerized by this girl. And then he goes to try to talk to her at the end, and his dad. I went with Welcome to French Class because it's like this is basically Nick's first introduction to girls are a thing now. And it was a callback. The title is obviously a callback from the first one where it's about kissing and French Class. So anyway.
It's a tough one, but I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Well, since you bring up the scene though, I did think it was interesting that Nick would approach her when she was surrounded by mostly dudes.
Yeah, brave.
I think there were a couple of other girls, but like it was mostly dudes.
Way to go, Nick, man. You go after what you want, boy. I am here for it.
I wanted, because we don't know what led up to these moments, but I was pretty proud of him where he's like, oh God, she's leaving. And he runs out to like catch her. And like, he tries to have the conversation, like, okay, in front of all these guys, you're sparking it up.
Yeah.
And then dad shows up and you're like, oh, he panicked for sure. And he dipped. And of course he blames it on dad, But like,
I mean,
he tried, and then right after he gives her a phone call, and he is like, he's ready to chat, and then what happens? Dink. I fix it. Like, no. Like, I'm so proud of him. So proud of him for getting so close and constantly trying. And even in the moment when he runs into her, like he doesn't really hesitate.
yeah. See, that's how it was in the 90s, guys. We had a thing called courage. You spineless people.
Your
nowadays.
grandparents called it fucking balls.
Yeah. No, I agree. Great job, Nick. You know, you got a crush on her, you go after her, you let her know. That's how it's done.
Dude, he went after it.
None of this tiptoe beat around the bush shit.
Was anybody else a little bit nervous about this girl for him though? Like I'm feeling very Diane in this moment of like, I don't know, man. This is the first girl that you're going after. She bit forward.
Yeah.
I mean, you get shrunk, been carried around by your baby brother. I shouldn't say you get shrunk, but like, well, he got shrunk, but oh no, they did get shrunk by the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went the full circle on that one.
Yeah. Just saying, this girl. And here's my thoughts on this. Nick, if you can see your dog and your dad in the mirror, pretty sure she can too. And you have a rear view mirror and she has her own side mirror. She knows that dude was like.
I also gotta say, her different speech never works for me.
No,
it's weird. I'm like, what are you trying to say here? Like,
movies never did a good job of being like, yeah, you're a nerd, but like, that's okay. You're still cute. It's like they never did a good job of that for the longest time.
It's not Carrie's fault. That's just poor writing.
She nailed the acting, right?
Yeah. Anyway, like I said, it wasn't much that I wanted to talk about. It was more of like just the connection between the first and the second.
Yeah. I liked a couple of Mandy's little quips. Like she was a little sarcastic and I kind of liked those moments from her where she didn't seem like such an unapproachable popular girl. She did seem like this, like, yeah, I'm this girl. I go to your school.
Yeah.
I'm a babysitter. I'm no bullshit. Like you said, you're going to pay me $2.50 an hour for 3 hours. Like, here's your $10. Go.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh my God, she wanted it bad.
$7.50 goes a long way in '92.
Not wrong. But still, I liked that about her character. I thought it made her a lot more likable rather than like off-putting or unapproachable.
Right, like the snooty tooty, popular. Oh, I'm way out of your league type personality.
Exactly, like when Wayne
Regina George.
Yeah, like when Wayne jumps off of Big Bunny and he ends up in the overalls.
Yeah,
he goes to shake and he falls. And he's still between them. But he's talking and then he falls the rest of the way. She's like, well, I feel better.
Yeah.
It's like it was a fun little quip. I thought it was funny. And it was a great way to kind of cut the tension of the moment. I mean, like this was a bit, which these movies have always done. They've done a good job, even in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, right? Of there's some tension moments. Well, let's make a quick little laugh because we're getting a little too like it's a little too intense for the moment.
Yep.
I liked it. She was all right, but she might have been a little, I don't know.
Nah, I think they make a great couple.
Okay. I'm gonna pay attention if you don't pick the third one, I'm still probably gonna watch it mostly because of research at this point. I'm curious what mention of Amy and Nick there is in the third one because I feel like
Bertle.
I know that Nick is brought up at least once, but I don't know if there's enough reference to like, yeah, this is where Amy is and she's doing great with her family, right. And here's Nick and doing great in college. You know, like I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
We'll find out, Jen. Do you guys have any other scenes or anything you wanted to jump to? We ready for another break?
I got plenty, but what do you want to do?
Let's do one more scene. We'll take another break.
Okay.
I've got random little notes and things, but for the most part, it's all scatterbrain stuff. So if we've got scenes, if we've got things that we want to go for, let's jump in.
How about 7-foot playtime?
Yes.
Do you know this one?
I'm guessing this is like the initial. They've got him in the house. They're running around. It's all crazy.
So
they're trying before they get into the playpen.
Picking
Or
up
is it when he's in the playpen?
What, Jen?
He's picking up the door and the furniture.
There we go.
Yeah.
So this is when it's. I put it. I'm starting it out where Wayne's on the couch trying to figure things out, and once again, Adam is in the back room, 7 feet tall, but being a 2-year-old and playing with his toys and all that stuff. And the sound that is coming from his playtime is just unbelievable. And they're like, what is he doing? And then he's like, he's playing. He's like, well, tell him to stop. Nick's like, well, tell him to stop. Why didn't I think of that? like, how do you expect me to tell this 7-foot baby to stop playing? And so then all of a sudden, he's just firing things off at Nick and all that. And then what kills me every time is he finally gets Adam in his room and he closes the door, and then Nick goes out and he's like, all right, I finally got him in the room. He's like, did you close the door? I'm like, yes, I closed the door. And he just opened the door. And he's holding the damn door in his hand. And he's like, and he's sharing it with us.
I fix it.
And yes, and then you get the I fixed it, right?
Looking at Adam holding that door is so tiny. He's just like, oh.
And then he's carrying the door, right? And he was like, I fixed it. And then the other one that gets me is when he falls backwards onto, I think it was his high chair or I don't know what. It was something that he shattered in just multiple pieces of wood. And he's now on his belly and he grabs the wood and he goes, he gets all amped up on it. Oh man, that scene is great, just start to finish. All the chaos that's going on. You got like neighbors outside that are slowly encroaching the house. Like, what the hell is happening in that home? Like, yeah, good stuff there.
Love it. That is some of the funnest stuff with Adam. Because after that, he's just too big to handle. Yeah. And
where it's just enough where you can kind of still get him in the reins.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it all ultimately ends. I mean, we've got the whole freaking neighborhood is like, what the hell is happening at this house? But it ends with them singing the song, getting him into the playpen.
Oh yeah, the
nap. Like, it's just, you're seeing this giant baby go down.
Yep.
And it becomes really sweet for a moment, right? Of like, okay, he's down. We can think. We can come up with a plan. We can figure out what's going on, and they begin to execute the plan.
Yep.
But of course, what happens is baby's a baby.
Every baby needs a nap.
Plans change. But I like that it ultimately led to like, we got to get the shrink ray. And what's even cooler is that you didn't need just the shrink ray. It's like, yeah, we're going to alter it so that it's designed to blow things up too.
Right.
It's such a great idea. Yeah. But yeah, watching them chase him around the house with all of the chaos, him destroying everything left and right, and then them finally getting him into the playpen. The rattle is one of my favorite things to notice. It's a freaking baseball bat with like a friggin' pretzel jar on top of it. And incredible. It's absolutely, he's loving the damn thing. I freaking love that stuff so much. Like it's it was fun in the first movie to see them make small things big. And it's funnier to see them like make small things a big thing. Like it was
average, normal size things now need to become big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just such a fun, crazy thing.
I forgot on the first watch of this about what happened with Nick's guitar. So I was a little concerned for his guitar because I couldn't remember what if like when he was holding it, I was like, oh, does he smash it? I did not remember at all.
The fact that he only breaks a string is fantastic.
Yeah.
Watching him just like boom and then stomp on it, I was like, oh
yeah.
It's not even my guitar, but dude.
No, but even when he was bigger and he's running around with the guitar in his hand, I was like, does he throw it? Does he I don't remember what happens here. And I was like, poor Nick, all he cares about is a guitar. And I forgot that that Wayne goes on the outpost.
Yeah.
He goes for the interception pretty much.
It was funny that they had to do the whole like, okay, you go this way, now go that way thing multiple times to trick him. And like, how do you wrangle a baby?
Yeah.
Welcome back to GoodFlickas, home of the GoodFlickas. Can you take our critiques? Let's find out as we finish up our chat on Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. Though I do think I don't know. Like, it's hard to get past the like, Honey, I Blew Up the Baby. But it does sound like a better title. I think they should have gone for it. What do you guys think?
I mean, I like either one, I guess.
I say go for it.
I always remember
when he dropped it in the movie, I'm like, oh man, that does work. I think I said that earlier.
Yeah, I'm official vote on the group. I think they should
official. I say Honey, I Blew Up the Baby.
I think they should have kept it. That's what I always called it by mistake growing up. It was always Honey, I Blew Up the Baby because they never once called him a kid. He is the baby. Baby. But did anybody have any scenes or anything?
You know what you could do? Like, I don't know why I keep thinking of these. Yeah. Honey, I ... big baby.
Honey, I
like you can't even get the words out.
Maybe not even. Well, I feel like you need big something like. But I almost think just Honey, I ... baby. Yeah. I think it works.
No, because like I feel like Wayne's very like he's straightforward. He really is. Like him and his wife have a great communication. I mean, he got scared. That was hilarious. We could talk about that. Hi,
let's.
And she's just like, "What did you do?"
What does he say that gets him back there? Honesty is always the best policy.
It is always.
And then he straight up lies to her. Yeah. About the P's and the R's.
At least to get her inside the house, out of public eye, I'm sure.
he knew get her to a safe place.
Yeah.
Tell the truth. But my God. I do think that he learned since the last movie, right? Where it all happens and he just kind of panics and then it's like he knows the answer, she's there, and it's like, okay, tell her the truth. I can't hide this. It's not like they're tiny and just gone.
Yeah.
Big. I can't hide this.
Yeah, there's no hiding Adam.
No hiding this. So I what a hilarious moment too. We just have to figure it out before your mom gets home. Hi, honey. Yeah. Oh God, no. I forgot about the car though that they almost hit because that was a really scary moment. It like stunt wise performed to perfection, but holy shit, was that close. There's a baby in the car.
Yeah.
A big baby,
It's a baby in the car. I weirdly enough, I didn't like that their house was essentially at an intersection. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
When they're it's the
Oh, you're
only
right.
the only time
It's in a T
it
intersection.
matters, the only time it matters is then when he's coming home.
Mm-hmm.
There was something about that, like because he comes from the side every other time, like that's the way everybody goes. I didn't like it. It
Yeah.
felt wrong. It felt like the house was wrong. What was it, Jen?
It's metaphorical. Straight shooter, go.
I like it. I like it. I believe it. Hey, filmmakers think of these things.
Yeah. Or at least we do.
Well, because film
We
love
think of too
crazy
many
people.
things.
So I think it's during the moment when they're trying to settle him down. It's early on. So it's 7 foot baby scene.
Mhm.
But they play the hokey pokey on a little plastic record player. I had that plastic record player. At least something very similar to it. So that was a weird throwback of like, oh God, I had that record player. We listened to Disney records on it where like they would tell like the storybook version of their movies.
Oh yeah.
Or we had like actual soundtracks or nursery rhymes and things. Like we had so many things that we listened to on that little record player, that little plastic record player. And I like took me right back to like the 90s. Did you guys happen to have that thing or something similar?
No, not that I remember.
Missed out. Record man.
Yeah.
Nothing quite like vinyl. No. Sorry, that was just a thing that I'm looking at my notes and wrote down of like that was just fun nostalgia.
Yeah, that would be. Actually, maybe we watch it and try and find little 90 trinkets. I didn't even think about doing that.
See if there's a hidden Mickey.
Oh yeah.
Like within the stuffed animal. See if there's a hidden Mickey.
That's a good one.
Do something like that.
I got a scene.
Yeah, lay it on me.
The big breakout.
The big breakout of the house.
Okay.
Yep. I wrote this down because it just has pretty good moments. This is when obviously he gets bigger because of the locomotion. And if there's ever a song to make you grow, it's the locomotion.
Oh God, it's what is it? It's
Gene Simmons.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, it's Richard Simmons.
Yeah,
Gene Simmons is Kiss.
That's a different type of locomotion.
What I love so much about that was clearly they just got him watching that and he just was dancing and going with it.
Yep.
Because he was with it. He was doing the moves and everything. I was like, I love this. He's
all about it.
He's vibing with him.
Yeah. And so this obviously he now is near electricity and this makes him grow even bigger and out we go and the monster's out of the cage, whatever you want to metaphorical, like that this is what's going on, right? But I wrote this down because it just has a couple moments. So I mean, first of all, at this point, if he has I believe later on Wayne says he has a 40-inch neck.
Yeah.
At the time that he goes through the
no. So 40-inch neck is just over 3 feet in length, which means he's probably at least 15 feet high or something, or 15 feet tall. I don't know. So I do wonder how he's walking around the neighborhood and mostly everybody's not seeing Adam.
That's what when they went outside to look for him, I was like, how do you miss him?
How do you miss him? And then you do get the really cool shot of him climbing over the wall of the birthday party. And I'm like, God, this is awesome. And he's of course holding his bunny. So
I
that's
love
all great. But what gets me the most every time of this is when Adam is in the middle of the neighborhood and he has overturned all these cars and freaking water is flowing everywhere and he's just like he's playing his game with actual vehicles just in the middle of the neighborhood. I'm like, this is exactly what a 2-year-old would do. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, he's just gonna play with all of his toy cars, and it's so funny.
I love that he flipped over cars.
I think he flip over a fire truck.
I think it or like a cop car or something.
Yeah.
Because like
I think it was a fire truck that he turned over. I'm like, accurate. What baby wouldn't go for the fire truck?
And
I loved his intro to like, oh, I see people. Like he'd just be like, peekaboo.
Yeah.
Just like this is a normal day.
I forgot about the peekaboos.
Peekaboo.
I loved it so much. God, the peekaboos killed me every time because it really did. It just felt like a kid poking his head out, but it's just this giant face out of nowhere. Peekaboo. Yeah. Oh God! But what that is that not the worst magician you've ever seen?
Oh my God!
And then she's going after Zelensky's like, this lady don't like you.
Yeah.
God, terrible magician. It's God.
What did she call? Like, oh, you guys want to see the Chinese blocks? I'm like, I want to see you disappear.
Oh, she was awful.
Yeah, she's pretty bad.
Yeah,
like, the kids are like falling asleep.
I wish you were a friend. You know, like she even calls her out. She's like, is it even worth it? It's just a mailbox. Like, it's not just a mailbox. It's something small, and then it becomes something big.
Yeah.
But oh God, I think we've proven it's not worth it to go up against the Zelenskys.
No.
They're good people and they come out on top.
No, they got some crazy ideas, but they normally work out. So
eventually.
What did you guys think of like how everything progresses though? Like with it going from, them trying to blow up this gem and it turning to goop and exploding on his face to
that's just weird and I just let it go.
I thought it was pretty decent.
I do remember those crystals though.
Oh yeah, because it was always, and then it got all rounded and just.
I had those crystals.
Oh, you mean like the thing that they put up there?
Yeah, yeah. They used to sell, like, they would sell those crystals for like decorations and stuff, and I know for a fact we had them. They came in, like, some of them came in different colors. One of them was like red and white. Another one was like purple and white, and yeah.
Did they do certain things?
No, they
just crystals.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, you're getting the wrong crystals then.
I didn't have the ones that turned into gel. That would have been interesting.
Well, I mean, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
But I meant more of like, if you're gonna get crystals, get the powerful ones.
Yeah, of course. I dabbed into a crystal meth for a couple of days. That didn't work out too well.
Yeah, good for you, man.
Yeah.
Was that the one that you guys were talking about all the street names for?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I fix it.
I don't want to know what you'd fix for.
A lot of things need to be fixed.
I don't want to know what you'd fix for some crystal meth.
I heard you say you're watching Breaking Bad. It's showing.
Yep, there we go. No, I'm totally obviously kidding. No, the street names was for fentanyl.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. GoodFlickas is fentanyl.
Yeah. That's a shame.
So disrespectful.
I agreed.
I don't know
Um,
what fentanyl is. I'm not street.
is it
It's an
technically
opioid.
is it opioid? And that's what it is. That's what it is.
Oh.
That's what it is. But do they sell it as like a painkiller?
We use fentanyl in the field. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh.
it's definitely a painkiller when it's medically administered to you.
So
But
does no say good job, fellas?
but
Jump.
yeah, that's AMR's street name for it.
Good job, fellas.
I'm looking at my EMT. I'm like, give me the good job, fellas. We're gonna need it. Oh, that was funny.
I don't have a lot of notes, so if you want to just jump in scenes, but all I was
Sure.
really getting at was like, what did you guys think of the just how they progressed, like from going from like gooey gyms to the baby slowly getting bigger and bigger and bigger until he finally reaches like his biggest thing. Like, how did you guys feel about like story progression, all of that?
Well, go ahead, Jen.
I thought it was just a really creative way to use like radioactivity. Is that it?
I don't even know if it's radioactivity.
No, what did they say it in the
Or UV?
electromagnetic something?
Yeah.
God, it's like a pulse or something, electromagnetic force
Yeah.
or field or something. Yeah.
Yeah, they say it in the van with that
Yeah.
cool ass voice.
So
I thought-
That's what's making him grow.
well, it's the electricity then. So I guess the implication would be that the thing is really just run on electricity. So it's electric. So it's just a laser.
Well, so you asked how do I? You're asking is your question is how do we like the way that it progresses, right?
Yeah, just like what do you think of? Because
I mean, it's like I said in the beginning. Number one, it's 90 minutes and it's just boom, 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 boom.
Mhm.
It feels like a very fast start to finish movie. It is the quickest way to kill 90 minutes, in my opinion. I'm like, holy crap, 90 minutes just went by. Like that does not feel like 90, right? Because it's just everything that's happening. And then what I like about it most is if you're gonna make Adam big, you can't just straight out the gate make him huge because then it's like that's a whole different thing. Like if he's huge right off the bat, well, you just destroyed the building that he's in, the lab goes down. There's a lot of complications, right? So how they made the gradual size increase, I thought was really, really smart. It was, let's use electricity to make it to where that's going to be whatever is making him expand, which is, I think, again, if you go back to the Wayne Selinsky balloon theory, this is exactly what it is. Somehow the electricity is making him grow bigger because it's allowing the balloon to expand rather than pop. And what I love is they're like, okay, we're gonna get him near a microwave. That's a micro dose of electricity, not a lot, but enough, right? Then we're gonna get him near a TV. Okay, a little bit more juice, and that's gonna get him big enough to get out of the house where we're going to seem like we have everything under control, but we're now going to go down the freeway that has the most power lines I've ever seen in my entire life. and that's going to make him go big. And now it's like, well, if electricity is now the issue, how do we make it to where we're like, oh shit matter? Let's get him towards Las Vegas, the city of lights. I mean, it is the story writing of it is just, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I appreciate that because you're right. In the 90 minutes, they really do wrap things up quickly.
Yes.
They set it up, they wrap it up, and it's in a nice.
What are we doing? 2 days? I think we're doing with 2 days, right?
I think so. There was. That's where I keep getting confused. It's yeah. He mentions what he feeds what he fed Adam the day before, or whatever. I always forget. Yeah, 2 days. 2 days. This takes place. Um, yeah, it's sorry. You getting me all lost in thought. I'm gonna reel it back in. Yeah, I do think that they do a good job of like wrapping everything up and keeping it nice and tight. But it does make me wish that they kind of expanded on some other things, or taking their time with it a bit more. And I'm not saying that would have made this a better movie. This is a 90-minute movie. Like it's you we blew up a baby. They did everything that they needed to do within this movie. Everything that I'm talking about adding is really just to make it a deeper movie. It's unnecessary, but it builds more of the characters. And I don't know why, but I keep finding myself wanting to know more and more about the Zelenskys, and so upset that like they keep us so surface with them in this, but we still know them so well. It's it's a brilliant thing that they've made them these stereotype characters, and with very little effort we get that. We know their backstories, we know their histories without ever really getting to know these guys. And we can see the chemistry as a family on screen. So it's really impressive what they do. Go ahead, Brian.
Well, I just remembered Jen was talking about earlier how she wished that Amy was more inclusive in the story. I forgot to mention. So remember when I said that the original title was Big Baby, and Disney was like, "Oh, that sounds really interesting. Let's take that story because that's the perfect sequel to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids." The script that they got did not have any part for Amy. So that's why Amy ends up disappearing. And the more I think about this, I'm like, you couldn't have thrown her back in. I mean, even Jen's idea I thought was really great. And you were talking more about like knowing more about the Selinskys, and this is kind of where this all started to where my thought process went. It's like I get if you got a script and it didn't have a part for Amy, that you're not, you want to not deal with that, but it's like you couldn't have just did a little fine-tune editing to bring her back into the mix and get the gang back together. So yeah, you're right. When it comes to the Selinsky family, uh enough, but they definitely keep it a little on the hush hush on certain things. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and it would have been expanding on the keeping Amy involved. It's easy to bring her into this.
Oh, it's super easy.
It's throw her on a plane. Like, it's just have her. We establish that can get there and back pretty quickly wherever it is. And, she sees the news and she shows up while they're on the New York, the Las Vegas Strip, right? Like that's when she shows up. But cut to her like seeing the news and like bam, she's at the airport. Like, I need a ticket to Las Vegas. Right? Like that's all we need of her in that moment. Cut right back to everything else happening. And then she shows up at the climactic scene to be a part of it with the family. Like let her be involved. So there's not a big role for her, but at least let her be there.
And then you can get like humor at the airport where she's like, I need a ticket to Las Vegas. And then like the what is it? What do they call the people that sell you airline tickets?
Stewardess?
Well,
no. Clerk?
Sure.
I don't know. I'm at a loss. I don't know their names.
I haven't had to deal with them in so long.
The clerk is like Las Vegas, Nevada. It's like, yeah, it's like that Las Vegas.
Yeah.
That's where you want to go? Like, yes, that's my little brother. Oh, okay.
That's my little brother. I have to get back.
I was thinking of one where she's like, okay, I need a ticket. And then it paused like, and tell the pilot fly low.
See, there could definitely be some comedy.
There's some serious potential there for keeping her around for just comic relief.
Yeah.
Ah,
All right, I got one last scene, then I'm out of scenes that I wrote down. I
oh,
titled this "Viva Las Big Ass Baby."
okay, yes. I'm guessing this is everything that leads up to him getting to the Hard Rock.
I mean, yes, this is basically where. So first of all, you get. I love how some of the like so many movies have the classic. It's like a trope where they got to bring in the two random tourists that just have something to say or are doing something witty or something about it, right? And so you've got the two tourists that come out and they're like, "Oh, hon, what's going on?" Like, is it, I forgot what the question is, but they're talking about like, is Wayne Newton in town or something like that? And then you get the him saying, "Listen, babe, there's nobody bigger than Wayne Newton in this town," which I mean, I think today is true. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
think anyone is still bigger than Wayne Newton in Las Vegas, and it's 2024.
Celine Dion, shut your mouth.
You think so? You think Celine Dion took the crown?
I think so.
I don't know. Wayne Newton packs a solid punch still.
Here's the sad thing I have to say. Celine Dion unfortunately is fighting like health issues, so she's had to stop.
I know.
Wayne is still going.
Yeah.
That's the only argument I can fairly make.
I mean, he still has a show right now. That is
Yeah.
insane. He had a show in Vegas Vacation.
Yes. He must have the longest residency in Las Vegas.
He has to. Like, I can't, I mean, maybe, well, Siegfried and Roy, if they're still, I don't, right?
One of them got eaten by the tiger.
Right, exactly. So that's I forgot which one it was. So
I don't know.
Wayne is only winning. Oh, he's killing them off, isn't he? He's doing this to them. I'm just kidding, everybody. That was a joke.
I think we just wrote like a fun idea for like a horror comedy.
like a Wayne Newton parody.
Well, just like a horror comedy where it's all of the like the top acts on
the strip
are slowly being murdered,
Mhm.
and it turns out it's Wayne Newton.
Yep. Chris Angel goes down. Britney Spears goes down. Anyway, where was I talking about? Oh yeah, so you get that, right? But then the reason I wrote it down is just because of the shots that you get. Like, you get giant Adam, who's now the size of Las Vegas casinos, and he's just walking down like that image of him with in front of the four queens and Adam's on the left. I'm like, God, that is such a great money shot. It's perfect. So yeah, I mean, that's really the only reason I wrote that part down. Is it's a really funny comment about Wayne Newton that just continues to live to this day. And then you get, really cool shots with him the size of Vegas casinos.
Yeah, I love this. There's another line there. So this is like I think like my only quote. And this is one that I used to say a lot because of this movie and has since changed. I feel like I've brought this up before. But it's the howdy partner when he's saying it to the
Right.
I don't know what casino that is, but the cowboy or whatever.
That was
it
an
is.
old one. I don't remember it either.
I'm again never been to Vegas.
Yeah. I don't think it's there anymore.
Probably not, but like I love that of him going like to like these interactive like billboards, these neon signs, like the lady to the kicking leg, and like it's those are such fun moments. But like that line, the howdy partner, I don't know why I quoted it for the longest time for no good reason other than just like it was a weird hello.
Yeah.
But it evolved when Shanghai Noon came out, because there's the moment of it's Jackie Chan going down the street on horseback with Owen Wilson. He's telling him like, just tip your hat and say howdy, partner. And it's just them constantly going, howdy, partner, howdy, partner. And you got Jackie Chan who, howdy, partner, howdy, partner. Like he can't, he's not quite hitting that cowboy that he needs. So that was my new howdy partner. It changed to that one.
Yeah.
But this one lived on for a while.
All right. So I got nitpicks and head scratchers for sure. I'm going to go with my biggest nitpick of the movie. And this is before Vegas, but after the breakout of the mobile playpen. So he's the street with all the telephone poles, right? And this is basically when news is coming, and they're trying to stop him from getting to Vegas. And they say that you need him to hold still for 12.5 seconds in order for us to basically shrink him back down to size.
Yeah.
Homeboy is just hanging tight for quite some time. Fire up the shrink ray and let's go, guys. Like, what are you doing? I mean, even when he was distracted, like even before Big Bunny, he was just standing playing with things. Wayne, juice it up and go. You have him. And then Big Bunny goes and he's distracted. Like there was multiple times we could have juiced up the shrink ray and got Adam back down to size. It is a little rough on the movie. Go ahead, Matt.
Yes, I have a few little nitpicks like that of like, this did not need to be as hard as it was.
Yeah.
There were multiple moments, like you said, where it's like, okay,
window was wide open.
Yeah. Those seconds of him standing still, or at least in place long enough, plenty of opportunity.
Yeah.
Every time the moment he was holding the guitar, like he was there he was in one spot, except for, although he did a little hopping, but plenty of opportunities where he's just in one place. And the other nitpick is when you make it out of his pocket, you get into the car. I don't know. Why not run like the other people that were inside the car?
Yep.
I understand I
try to start it.
Yeah, like that reaction to like try and start the car and drive it off. But if it's not working, get out of the car.
Yeah.
Get out of the car.
Yes.
So like that was
agree.
Another thing where it's like that didn't need to happen.
My head scratcher was why try to start the car.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are we doing? You made it. Congratulations.
You made it.
It's a convertible. Jump the fuck out.
Yeah. You're safe. Go.
Yeah. To go back to the multiple times to shrink Adam.
Yeah.
It is a very easy fix to where you can keep the entire thing the same. Just tell me that the shrink ray isn't quite charged up yet. It doesn't have the voltage that it needs to properly shrink him, and keep showing me that you're like 80%, 85%, 90%, and Adam's already walking towards Vegas. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. There wasn't enough juice. It works. Everything kept the same. I'm not questioning why you haven't tried to shrink him like 50 times.
I'd be okay with that, because it just make it you can't pull the power situation, because ultimately when we see them finally get him, they have a generator. They have a whole generator that they've now attached to this thing to give it the extra juice that it needs. And it's like, because the point was they're trying to give it so much power that they have to diffuse it with this thing, because they don't know the proper like percentage of power to give it.
Right.
So it's like we're shooting in the dark here. But this is the first time we've seen this generator.
Yeah.
If you're like you're saying, I agree. Tell me that the problem is we can't power it. We can't give it enough power yet. We need this power.
Yep.
Make that the problem.
Yep. And that's an easy fix. Nothing changes with the scene. And now I'm not questioning Well, the obvious.
Yes, and I think it easily removes that time period putting a timestamp on it. It's got to be 12.6 seconds. It's like I know that you threw that number into the script to make it seem like he's done these calculations and it has to be so precise.
Right.
It's fine, but that's not. I mean, 1.21 gigawatts. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell is a gigawatt? Who gives a shit? It's what,
Right, Scott.
yeah, like that's what we got to get to.
Oh man.
So it's like I don't need the numbers. I need to know the problem.
Yes.
So like telling me he's got to stand still for 12 seconds is not that's not problematic enough. I realize, like, yes, as a parent, have you ever tried getting a 2-year-old to stay still for 12 seconds? Like, yeah, I get that. I'm with it. But you're also trying to get him to stay still for a picture. Like, of course he doesn't give a shit about that. He's 2. He doesn't care about a picture. I live in the moment, mom and dad. I don't need to remember it. Yeah,
so while we're on this scene too,
yeah.
Come on, Wayne. How is he?
Come on, Wayne.
How is he gonna say nap while on Big Bunny?
Oh, I mean, yeah.
And he does it in the slowest way, to where it's like, as smart as you are, you're hanging on Big Bunny from a helicopter, and you're gonna be like, you know what sounds good right now? And I was like, oh man, Wayne. Really dropping the ball on this one.
Yeah. And I know it's just to maintain consistency with the fact that he keeps saying nap, even though they keep telling him stop saying
I think
nap.
he says it 3 times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I get it. Yes, he is known for saying nap, but he was nailing it. He was crushing it. And drops
he had him. He was getting blinky.
A nice long no.
Although the editing of this scene is so good, where he's saying like a nice, and then Nick's like, no, don't say it long, no, and then it cuts to Diane, and then Nat, and I was like, he said it. So yeah, like the whole like do chop chop chop.
Yeah.
I was like, nice, well done, guys.
Well, when we're on Big Bunny, literally for that one, I really liked what Rick Moranis was doing with Big Bunny, like as a character, and like, like the voice and everything. I liked that it was a voice, because Nick even impersonates it at one point, and he nails it.
Yeah, he does.
But I really liked. I thought Big Bunny was a fun. Yeah, nailing it. It's a bit creepy, honestly.
I'm tired.
Yeah, it's so creepy. It's creepy when you do it. It's endearing when Rick does it.
Oh, thanks.
He doesn't have a bunny.
Yeah, that's the big difference.
Don't get Luna.
Yeah.
Oh my God, don't put your hand up her. But yeah, I did. I like when he's doing, because it has to be like a moment that was improvised, because he's talking to him. So when he's putting him to bed, and it's like no ABC's you want to do okay, because he's like, no, I've got to sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, you little bastard.
It's in the script.
Yeah. So I thought it was great. He played it so well. And, twinkle, getting into and like, it was such a sweet moment with him as a dad. And then all of the times that he does it afterwards, it feels manipulative, but it's still a sweet thing, because Rick was kind of a disengaged dad in the first movie. Disengaged husband. He's very in his own world. But when you really look at him in this one, he's involved.
Yeah.
he's involved with Nick. He's like, so your mom tells me there's a girl. Like, tell me about that. Do you want
Yeah, he wants to go to the movies.
Yeah, it's like he's tell me about it. Let's do we need to have the birds and the bees talk? You know, he's clearly got a relationship with Adam where he's like he plays with him. They have these songs, and I really love that first moment when he's in the playpen and he's got the shaving thing on, and they just is like helmet's like, yeah, it's a new helmet. Like the that was such a just beautiful moments.
I like the restaurant moment.
Oh, okay. When he's like hamburgers, is like, okay, yeah. what
Because
did he ask
he's
for?
killing it, and also one of the twins, Shakillers, or no, that's not the name. That is not the name. What?
Shalakar.
Shalakar, yeah.
Like
Killers. They're both like both of them are killing it in that scene because he's like, I want to go to a restaurant, like at any restaurant. And then he's like, what do you want? A duck. The duck? The duck's not good.
That's what it was. Yes, for the duck. The duck's not good.
Yeah, no, that part, that's such a cool father-son bonding moment. Loved it.
And because you bring that one up, I'd really kind of forgotten about it. That's another great moment where you can see it's okay. Here's your direction. You need to make this food for him.
Right.
You have to make him happy.
And he has no idea what Adam's going to say.
Your whole goal is to be as quick as possible.
Yeah.
And he's over here like, no, I want to go to a restaurant. It's like, we can't go to a restaurant. What about the food that I just made, bud? And it's like, I don't want to. I want to go to a restaurant. It's like, okay. What we were having? Like he plays it all out, and it's done so well.
He's a genius at improv.
I think those are such great moments of like his talent as an actor, as an comedic actor even. But just it's incredible that he's having to feed off of a 2-year-old who's the most chaotic being who can speak, and known to man. And he's crushing it. He's crushing these scenes, and it feels genuine. It feels like they could have written this.
Yep.
Kudos, Rick.
Yeah, I agree.
He really gets a shine in this movie. It just, I love that these sequels really focus in on Rick.
Yeah.
On Wayne Szalinski. Like it's a little bit on the kids, but a little less each movie.
All right, we did the car. Oh, here's another vehicle one. A head scratcher.
How many cars you got in this movie? Jeez.
Why not get a head start and then turn on the lights and the sound of the ice cream truck?
I mean, you need to get him to chase you, so it's got to be close enough so he can hear.
If you've got all the casinos going dark and everything, just give yourself like 75 yards. It's going to be loud enough. It's going to be bright enough. He loves ice cream. Just close that gap. I mean, why just close the gap? That's all.
Why take so long to turn them all off? Like,
yeah, that was weird too.
Just turn them off.
He's like going one at a time.
Yeah, like do you like you're luring him with the ice cream truck, not the buildings. Like, just shut him off.
Yeah,
they're dangerous anyway. They're gonna make him bigger. Like, just shut him off.
There you go. When Adam is on his way to Vegas, turn off your lights.
Yeah, shut him off. Shut it down.
Yeah. And then, all right, my last head scratcher, unless you guys have anything.
No.
No? I had fun with this one. We all know that Adam absolutely loves guitars. It is clear from the beginning all the way to ripping the Hard Rock Cafe guitar right off of its platform. That being said, what would Adam's band name be?
Well, Kaiju Baby. Kaiju Baby. and it would be like techno metal.
Oh,
Kaiju Baby. You detect, yeah. That's one band. That's one band he was in, but it's gonna fail. Because it's like it's ahead of its time.
I came up with one.
What you
I
got?
came up with one title for it. Because remember, it's a band. It's not just solo, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought he would call themselves the Fix-Its.
Mm. Mm. I like that. Fix It's. That's actually not a bad band name.
Yeah, I was like, is there? I'm trying to think if there's any other ones, but
The Big Bunny Boppers.
ooh, not bad. How about Vegas Baby?
Okay, but it'd have to be spelled very specific words. Vegas, comma, baby.
Oh, yeah. Jen, you got any?
No.
Okay.
Fizzle out.
Well, that good timing because I'm down to one nitpick.
I literally have no more notes. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I've wasted my quotes too. Okay. And so I'm literally down to one nitpick.
yeah.
Um, I wrote, everyone just seemed okay that Mandy was dangling for her life above Fremont. It just seemed like no one was concerned at all. It was a little weird. I would expect a little bit more horrific reaction from a crowd when they see a teenage girl fall from the side of a car dangling on top of an electronic cowboy girl's leg.
That moves up and down.
Yes, that moves up and down. And she's dangling out. She's not in the car anymore. She's dangling. What you see is everyone just backing up. like, oh, you don't want to be in the splash zone, if you know what I mean.
Gosh, that's horrible.
Anyway, so it was just, I just felt that the crowd should have been a little bit more horrified, including, I don't know, parents.
They really, the older kids got the shaft, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They cared until they shrunk them. Then it was a big deal.
So yeah, that was my nitpick on that. Although I do like prior to that, they were saying like, Adam, put us down, and then Adam finally puts it down, and he's like, pick us up. But yeah, I don't know. Am I the only one that kind of was like a little just not really at ease at how everyone was reacting to this?
Yeah. I didn't really note the reaction so much. My complaint with it is that it's like it looked and felt like she got out of the car on her own. Like she's just like, I'm out of here, I'm done. Like, and it's like, where the fuck are you going? It was
really?
The way that it kind of felt to me of like how I believe what happens is like the car actually like rocks, and because the door is unlocked, she falls out.
Yeah.
But the way that it plays out is really weird to me, and it felt like more of like somebody was like she stormed out and opened the door, and it's like, oh god, there's a cliff. And it's like, help me. Like that's what it felt like leading
Stormed
into
out.
it.
I'm sick of this big baby shit.
Yeah, exactly. It felt really weird to me.
Interesting. Okay.
And I didn't like that. So I think that's where my focus was at, where it's like, well, how did you get here? How'd you get here, girl? So I what I thought was strange, I will say, like, as far as there was nobody down there on those streets looking up. Like, I thought for everybody who's freaking out about the baby, those streets were relatively empty while she was dangling out of that door.
Right.
So like that's odd.
It's just weird. It's the way the whole thing was strange.
Yeah.
But great job, Nick. Way to hold on to her, save her, honk the horn to get Adam's attention. Smart move.
Kudos. Using his foot. Remember, that's why we have multiple appendages.
There you go.
Is that Whiskey making an appearance?
That was Whiskey, yeah.
Whiskey? I've never seen you anymore.
I know
She just went
read.
under the bed.
She heard me talk. She said, "Oh, he's still here."
Yeah.
Damn, Whisk, what did I ever do to you? Nothing.
That's all my notes, guys.
Sweet. Well, I mean, that's it for me as notes. So we're down to final thoughts and who won the movie. And Jen, I know you're feeling sleepy. Would you like to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. I still think you guys are all wrong. This movie is awesome. And I hope that when you rewatch it, you see that I was right and you were wrong and you put in new scores. And Raj, we're never going to be on the same page, like ever. And then who wins it is the fact that he improv'd all those precious scenes. Improv wins it. I guess that would be Rick Moranis, but I don't know. It's just the improv of it. I love it. He outdid himself there.
Yeah, good stuff. Brian, did you want to go next, or you?
Sure, I'll go. Okay. No, this was a fun one to break down. I think we kind of covered everything that needed to be covered. As far as what?
And then some.
And then some, yeah. No. I mean, it's just, I don't know. People, if you're looking for just a good movie to watch, just check it out. Like it's not a bad movie at all. And I think people are just overcritical on it because they try to compare it too much to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. But like I said in the beginning, you're comparing completely different storylines, like bipolar, or not bipolar, wrong word, polar opposite, different storylines. So you just can't do it. But I do know if you watch Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and if you watch Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, you're gonna have a fun 90 minutes. Plain and simple. As far as who won, I'm gonna have to do my honorable mention is Rick Moranis for basically the following reasons that Jen had already said. But to me, the true winner is going to be Josh and Daniel Shalhoub, who played Adam. They made Adam so damn likable, and you just, even when he's 100 foot tall, you're just like, I just want to protect you. I just want to make sure that nothing happens to you, Adam, and that you live your best life playing in Vegas. I am here for it. I'm going to go get a pina colada and I'm just going to watch you do your thing.
I'll be his friend.
Yeah, exactly. I just thought of, here's my final head scratcher. We're in Las Vegas, right? Or they're in Las Vegas. There had to have been somebody out there that were like, this is a new Vegas show, right? Like, there's gotta be.
How lucky are we that we showed up at this time of Vegas?
Yeah, exactly. This is awesome, Vegas. Like, what are you doing? Anyway, yeah. So that's my winner. Great job, twins. Thank you for giving me Adam, and for forever giving me I Fix It.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. This has been a fantastic chat. This has been a lot of fun. I'm glad that we've done the first two. Jen, I hope we hit number 3. I've dropped enough hints now. Don't break my heart. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. This is always it had always been kind of a fun one. It's such a great follow-up. What a great sequel. They did a great job of continuing the characters. From adapting whatever the original screenplay was to fit the Honey Eye model. I loved it. The details are fantastic. They kept the continuity together, it's been great. So it's been a lot of fun. Shout outs to like the technical team and all of that for the cinematography and everything, the sets and all of that, like everything that went into filming this to make it look as good as it did. Huge shout out to them. Because the cinematography and the camera tricks are really phenomenal and top notch. But for me, who wins the movie, I'm gonna do kind of a swap, a flip flop from you, Brian, of honorable mention to the twins, because you're right, they did an incredible job and they absolutely melt your heart and you fall for them every time. It's like you love this, you love Adam even though he's a little shit who destroys guitars. He's an adorable pain in the ass little 2-year-old, and it's all because of them. But my winner is Rick Moranis, just because he really brings it in this movie. They do a lot better job of focusing in on him as a character, and I think he's an incredible dad. The difference from where he was in the first movie to where he is in this one, like, it really shows there's growth.
Yeah, serious growth.
And I think to highlight the one little scene earlier in the movie, I think it's one of the opening scenes where he gets all defensive about Diane. You know, he's like, "I'm not stupid," and she's like, "I never called you stupid." And he still has those moments where I think he has to defend himself in ways where he feels like he's not measuring up, but he's clearly come so far. And I think his insecurities may still be there, but he has done such an incredible job and has grown as a father. I mean, really looking at him with Adam is so heartwarming. And that's all thanks to Rick Moranis. And if I'm not mistaken, he's doing all of this at the early stages of his wife battling cancer. So
wow.
this is the beginning of the end of Rick Moranis on screen. So for him to be able to give this kind of a heartwarming performance while dealing with that, just incredible.
It was too much for my brother.
I think so. I made him too emotional. His computer froze, and he was like, "I'm out. I can't do it."
Like,
his eyeballs are moving, so we know he's alive again. He's a real boy.
You had to shed a tear, bro.
Yeah,
dude, I don't know. It just froze on me.
That's crazy. Sorry, I didn't mean to get so emotional. But yes, yeah, Rick Moranis wins this one for me.
All right, that's gonna be Rick Moranis for the Graham then, yeah.
Yes, Wayne for the win. And I don't mean Newton. Oh, he froze again.
In Vegas, Newton.
No, he's back. He's back. Oh, maybe. I don't know. He's glitching. It's okay.
Oh no. Oh, am I back? Yeah, I'm back. Okay. Is it Rick or is it Wayne?
It's Wayne. So
to me it's the same, but it's Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis. Got it.
Oh, I thought you were asking what his name was.
No.
Like it's Wayne.
I'm saying like who you guys are saying for the winner, but okay. So you guys are saying Rick Moranis for the win.
Moranis, because he made it all happen. He is Wayne.
He is Wayne. Yeah, I know.
Wayne.
Even when in Ghostbusters, I'm like, hey, it's Wayne Selinsky.
Oh God, freak. Oh boy. Anyway, that's gonna wrap it up. That will wrap up our chat for Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. Great talk, everybody. It's a shame we didn't have Nick, but hopefully he'll come back next week well rested and feeling great with lots of stories about Cancun. Before we completely round ourselves out, Jen, do you have our pick for next week?
I do. And you're gonna find it on Netflix.
You suck.
And I'm just kidding. Of course, we're doing number 3.
Yeah.
Of course, we're gonna do number 3.
Good. I put some.
It's where I learned my first nutritional fact.
I think this is where we all did.
chew, Mitch.
Oh man, it's like
Yeah, you remember more than I do.
not yet. We can't get into it yet.
No,
Yeah. But I hope it's as good.
this is God.
Oh,
I don't know how you guys remember these movies.
it's so much fun.
It's mind blowing to me.
It's gonna be so much fun. Okay. Let's round this out so Jen can go bad. Please.
The use of a speaker is top notch on this next one. That's my preview.
Oh God. Anyway, tune in next week to hear our chat about Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves, streaming on Disney Plus. You can see that here.
Sorry, does that conclude the series?
It does.
Yes.
Yes, that will wrap up. That will wrap up the trilogy of the Honey Eyes.
The Honey Eyes,
which is funny because the third one is Honey We. What are you gonna do? So yes, tune in next week to Twitch to watch us talk about Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. Here Twitch, GoodFlickas. You can also give us a follow on Instagram at good.flickas. You can check us out on YouTube at GoodFlickas. Check out some of our old shows. And check out the live shows here and some replays. We also have some other shows that may or may not be finding their way onto the GoodFlickas channels. If you see now, there is a past show of D&D, which I'm very embarrassed and pleased about. So please watch it.
Are more YouTube episodes going to be dropping soon, maybe? Or
so there is a plan to get a mass drop to our editor and have him work his thing away while dropping things into the drive for me, so I can just get uploads from him, get them to YouTube, and get us rolling again. So
can't wait.
The process is beginning. We're getting closer and closer to finding a rhythm. So when our editor is back from Mexico, might have a little bit more information. But yeah,
it sounds so official.
I have to make it fake it till you make it, Jen.
He's doing a little scouting for us.
Yeah,
our editor. Yeah, he's trying to find the next inspiration.
We're thinking about doing a live show in Mexico for our international audience.
For Castaway, right?
Yeah. God, you're gonna make me watch it again.
Oh, that movie was so good.
We do Muppet Treasure Island instead.
Oh, okay. How about Pirates?
Okay.
One of them, any of them.
Well, you know what? We're gonna have Pirate Day. We're gonna go to Mexico and have Pirate Day.
Oh, don't tempt me with a good time.
24 hours of GoodFlickas Pirate Day. Where
we are so going to jail.
I don't think Matt knows what you just asked for, Jen.
No.
Oh.
Don't worry, we will deadbolt the doors and make it so that the lock is on the outside, so you guys can't just get out when we're all plastered and.
Sure.
And I'll find a
way.
So,
Jen, how about you and I? We'll watch.
Balcony.
We'll watch the Prison Break season when they're in Senna, and take some notes.
Okay, sounds good. I like it. I'm sure we can pull up blueprints real easy.
Yeah.
Mexico.
Blueprints.
No, I could not hang with my old Pirate Day self. Hell no. We're doing like Pirate Minute.
You're over here all healthy and running.
Yeah. Pirate Day. No.
No, we're functioning adults now. That's all right. We'll find. We'll have fun. We'll just do pineapple juice and grenadine. Mocktails.
Yum. Tequila sunrises.
There you go. Yeah, that's gonna wrap us up. That's tonight's show. check us out next week. Brian, do you have anything else to wrap us up?
Yeah, guys, if we ever mess up or anything, just hit us up and I'll fix it. See you next week.